Woohoo! Okay. Okay. Fourth time's a charm, third time's a charm, something like that.
I think we're on like 42, to be honest.
Okay. Well, if that's what it takes. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Nature Check, the show where you can come for the game and stay for the science and the technical issues.
And just watch Cheryl as she just like melts into a puddle of goo.
What is the audio? I mean, we're gonna work with it. We're gonna go on it as long as you can actually hear us. First, we're gonna introduce ourselves and just pray to whichever god of the D&D pantheon you prefer that the audio gets better. Sorry about that. My name is Cheryl. I'm the DM or Dungeon Master or whatever for this game. I'm a grad student studying restoration ecology and dung beetles. When I'm not doing research, I make YouTube videos at The Roving Naturalist. As part of that, I'm going to be in LA this coming week for VidCon. So if you will also be there for VidCon, you should come find me, follow me on Twitter. All of our socials are down in the reference section. Follow me on Twitter so that you can come say hi to me at VidCon. I will have stickers and temporary tattoos available, so that's super fun. Everybody else in the cast is going to introduce themselves, starting with Joe, who is the person who came up with us doing this idea in the first place.
Hi, I'm Joe. I am a PhD student at the University of Wyoming, where I am trying to figure out how weeds hurt crops. That's something that we don't understand because we fertilize them, we water them, we give them whatever they want, and they still get hurt. So, that's what I study. So.
And you'll be playing?
I am playing Lucanus, our resident barbarian.
Nancy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Nancy, and I am an entomologist, which means that I study bugs, and I live in Quito, Ecuador, where I do my own personalized tours of Ecuador focused on insects, ecology, and culture. So I have all of the links and the things to how to follow me in the reference section below this video on whatever platform you're watching it on.
And you are playing?
I'm playing Kay, a rogue.
Nice. Okay. Peter.
My name is Peter. I'm an entomologist with the University of Maryland. I am a county agriculture educator. So my job is to teach agricultural science and provide information to the public in my county, which is Carroll County in Maryland. And I am playing Cedric, the dwarf cleric.
Nice. Rebecca?
Hi, my name's Rebecca. I am a biological control specialist working on the bugs that eat the bugs that eat our fruit and tree fruits. Opinions are my own and not of that of my employer. Once again, thank you, Twitch followers. And today I will be playing Artemis. Class is none of your business.
Really good. Also, podcast people, her sign said thanks to Twitch followers since they helped us with the audio issues.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Twitch followers. And Ryan.
I am Ryan. I am an entomologist. I work in IPM, plant health care, and horticulture in public gardens. I'm in Pittsburgh. I do teaching and public speaking and all those kinds of things on bugs. And in our game, I play Fletcher, a human wizard.
Awesome. Yes, so that's all of the people for right now. If you're watching us right now live on Twitch or Periscope, first of all, thank you. Thank you for bearing with us while we sorted out our technical difficulties.
Struggled. I think the word you were looking for is struggled.
Yeah. And
Struggle bus.
but yeah, thanks for sticking around or joining us now that we're actually doing the thing for realsies. We really hope you're going to enjoy what you see this evening. Secondly, if you're on Periscope, maybe hop over to Twitch if you're going to watch the whole thing, because that's where we've got a chat with a mod. So if you have any questions for the cast, you can tag the mod Hypertesteractive in the Twitch chat, and he'll be able to pass your questions along to us. So we welcome your questions. Bunch of scientists and also D&D players, so give us what you got. Last bit of housekeeping is the socials. You can find Nature Check on Twitter, so follow us there at Check Nature for updates and things about the stream and stuff. And please subscribe to Nature Check or follow or whatever, both here on Twitch and on our YouTube channel. Every single game session will be uploaded and archived on the YouTube channel, and you'll also be able to find our AFCATs on the YouTube channel, so definitely go check that out. You can also access the game in podcast form if you prefer to listen rather than watch on Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, or Apple Podcast, or whatever they're calling it, and Spotify. So pretty much anywhere you can get podcasts. I think I put it everywhere. So podcasting. Anybody else have anything they'd like to plug? No?
Not
Other
at the
than-
moment.
Nope.
Let's do it.
I know last time you said you were trying to get Ask an Entomologist caught up on all of the questions and queries. Is that going well?
Yeah, it's still the case. I'm planning on doing a lot of that tomorrow, so yeah, we're still a couple weeks behind. So
Facebook Messenger is actually pretty close to up to date. Just last week, so
yeah, it's the email that we're struggling on, and yeah, I need to get a new thread up about the boll weevil.
Nice.
Side note, I was on like a bowling team when I was at UGA, and one of the other team names was the boll weevil, and I was really sad that I did not come up with that name.
It's good. It's good.
It's a good name.
I know, right? Like, what?
Oh,
Our
geez.
trivia name in grad school was the Weevil Geniuses.
The weevil. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, well, if nobody has anything else they'd like to plug, then we can get started. I'm going to change the music to something a little less jovial, maybe. Okay. Civilizations grew, flourished, and fell on the continents of Lacedas for hundreds of years. But in the year 885, everything changed. Where once the gods of the pantheon held sway over various continents and made their presence known in frequent and tangible ways to mortals, now a dread silence and emptiness reigned. Civilizations fell into internal turmoil, and tensions mounted between empires. The faiths of nations were shaken, and new versions of old religions began to sprout. Spells once commonplace and relied upon, those that required the gods' particular attentions, no longer functioned. Access to and contact with all of the other planes disappeared or seemed blocked. The continent of Arda, still colloquially known as the God's Garden, was once the sacred and protected realm of Obed-Hai and Alana. At the moment of the loss, the strong protective spells surrounding the continent fell, and the shores and interior became accessible to any who wished entry on whatever business. In 952, a ship from the Tenebrian Navy took shelter in the large river mouth at the southeastern corner of Arda, and the sailors erected a small fort for protection. Over the years, the fort grew into a town, and the town grew into a small city. While Tenebria officially holds no claim over Arda, no outside nation has yet claimed dominion over the continent, New Sechester is, for all intents and purposes, a Tenebrian colony. Now it is late morning on Selunum, the 22nd day of Mist Run in the year 972. Yesterday, the DM made you all quite uncomfortable by making you investigate a brothel. Now, but Lucanus bravely went in and spoke to the girl Cedric had seen when he first arrived in New Sechester. You learned her name was, and in return for telling you what little she could about the town and the brothel owner, Wurgent Johns, you agreed to try to help her get a magical herb that would help her return to her mother's people. After a rough night of drinking for some and of sleeping in odd places for others, you reconvened at the Marked Bird Tavern, and then went to the Potions and Notions apothecary shop. There, you met the proprietor, Elsa Wentz, who was more than happy to help and gave you directions as to where to find this magical plant called Gilldeweed. You all trooped down the beach to the east and eventually came to a seagrass bed, which is where Elsa said you should start your search. But just as everyone except Cedric had entered the water, you became aware of two armed figures rising up out of the seagrass. So, first, I need you all to put your characters where you said they were on the beach or in the water.
I remember that one.
And then I need you all to roll initiative.
Okay.
I totally tried clicking in the VC thing, and I was like, "Oh, my character moving." That was awkward.
I
believe-
did the same thing.
I believe my character was still on the beach.
I think everybody except Cedric had said they had like done whatever with their clothing and had moved into the water. So you can be at the water line if you'd like, Lucanus. Yeah.
Okay. Any way that you could move me there?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Wait, and then we're rolling initiative.
Yes, and then you are rolling initiative. Is that a good spot for Lucanus?
Yeah.
Cool.
Initiative is just a D20 plus your modifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So anybody got greater than a 25 initiative?
I have a natural 18. So.
Plus.
And then the modifier. What's the modifier again?
It should say initiative right there on your sheet.
Okay.
Mine's next to speed. I think I used an old sheet. I have a 21 total.
You have a 20. Okay, so that is greater than 20. Okay.
I was waiting for a joke.
I have a 9, so I'll be towards the bottom. Kind of as always. I don't know what is with my initiative rolls, but that's there we are.
Cedric and Fletcher, what did you guys get?
18.
Okay. Fletcher, what's your dexterity modifier?
2. I rolled a 16 and I still plus
Okay.
2. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my initiative modifier is +2.
Okay, so you have a 20, Lucanus?
Yep.
Okay. And then Cedric, what did you get?
15 plus 1.
Okay.
16.
Okay, and then Artemis had a 9. Alrighty, so Kay, you are going first.
Oh, yay. I love going first.
I mean, you should.
Where are these dark figures?
So there's one right here.
Oh, I see. They just don't look like people. I understand.
No,
All right.
they're sort of, the best look you can get of them so far is that they're sort of a little smaller than a human and kind of yellowy greenish with big, like, sort of elbow and hand fins. They still have like hands, but webbed fingers, that sort of thing, and some finning on their necks and on their arms. They look sort of like
cute
amphibious people.
All right. The one, I guess, I don't know, the one on the screen on the left hand side of the screen, is that within 60 feet of me? Yeah, that one. Is that one within 60 feet of me?
Yes, it's within 20 feet of you.
Okay, perfect. Can I shoot it with my short bow?
You can certainly try to shoot it with your short bow.
All right, I will attempt to shoot it with my short bow. I haven't used the short bow yet, so I don't actually really know how to do it.
Okay.
So I roll first to see if I hit it, right?
Yeah. So you roll a 20, and then you add your attack with your bow, which would be your dexterity modifier and your base attack bonus. But you don't have a base attack bonus right now because you're a rogue. So just the 20 plus your
dexterity. Aha. Okay, perfect.
And just
All
to
right.
remind you that because you're going first, and this is the first round of combat, and there was no surprise or anything, they are technically flat-footed right now, which means that if you hit, you get your sneak attack thingy.
Oh, excellent. Sneaky attack. Let's do this. I got a 16 plus there's a 19.
Yeah, okay, so you hit it. So do
Perfect.
and that includes your sneak attack.
Excellent. And then I roll 1d6 worth of damage.
Okay.
Oh, wait, so I have a short bow attack bonus, which is plus 3. Oh, is that?
X, yeah.
Okay, valid. All right. And then, I did 6 points of damage.
It's 6 points of damage. Awesome. So the arrow streaks out from Kay's short bow real quick and just hits this thing, like, kind of square in its stomach, and he just and sort of reels back. You can see they actually have bows as well, or they have crossbows.
Maybe I should have noticed that before I decided to shoot it squarely in the stomach. But here we are.
All right, so you attacked him. Would you like to move, or are you good?
Where's Lucanus? Can I put him in the crossfire?
Thank you. He's in the blue.
I guess I'll back up.
Okay.
Oh wait, I'm clicking the wrong thing. I'm just gonna dodge.
Cool. Lucanus, what would you like to do? You're standing there at the edge of the water.
How far away from me are these people?
That one is 20 feet from you, and the other one is 40 feet.
Okay, so one is definitely...
It is much closer, yeah.
Okay. So Lucanus draws his greatsword, and since this is the first time people have clearly seen his features, he's definitely large for an elf, and his skin is about the color of a full moon. His hair is a light green, as are his eyes, and as he enters his rage mode, his skin turns from that sort of light white full moon color to the color of really old ivory. The scars that are crossing his body turn from a sort of key lime green to a more emerald and shiny and somewhere between a metallic and a gemstone color. So he reaches over, runs towards the, let's see, which one's the bigger threat? No, I'll just run towards the closer one.
Okay.
That is the one I saw was shot in the stomach, so good choice.
Yep.
Is that good?
I just rolled a natural 20 on this.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll again.
Yeah, I got a 7 that time.
Okay, plus your attack modifier would make it how much?
Plus my attack modifier, since I am in rage mode, strength, which is 4, that would put me at 11.
Does that include your +1 attack, base attack bonus?
For the rage, no, so that would be 5.
Right, so a 12, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what just happened there for everyone who has never played 3-5 before, so in 3-5, a 20 is not a guaranteed critical hit. You actually have to confirm it. So that second roll did not confirm the critical hit. So basically what that means is that he still hit, but it's not critical damage. So basically the confirmation roll, that second roll, has to also hit the armor class of the creature you're attacking. So you still get to roll damage, it's just not the extra, like, woohoo, crazy natural 20 damage.
Yeah.
So roll your regular damage for your greatsword.
I got a 7.
Okay, you make sushi out of that guy. You just start, like, you know, one big swipe and just, like, arms and things go flying. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, he had a bad day. He had a bad day.
Dead. Okay, cool. All right, so Lucanus, you moved and you attacked. Fletcher, it's your turn.
I will be, let's see, 35 feet.
That's a
sea turtle. Just love a sea turtle.
Start killing
Have you learned nothing?
Yeah, it's illegal to kill sea turtles.
Here it isn't. No, okay, so this guy's 25 feet away, so I'm going to cast a Ray of Frost at him. And I got a 16 versus his touch AC.
Okay, yeah, that definitely hits. Do the thing.
And it's 2 cold damage.
2. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you see this, again, this little beam of light kind of streaks out from Fletcher's hand and hits this thing, and, you know, he's kind of standing in the water, so when this ray of cold hits him, it sort of makes that, like, sound of the ice forming like up along the fins on his arms, and he definitely looks like that's not something he experiences on the regular, so it's definitely uncomfortable. Anything else, Fletcher?
And then I move back over here. Sorry, I was still in measurement mode.
That's okay.
There we go.
Alrighty, Fletcher. Awesome. So you killed one before they could even take their turn.
Yeah, look at it. Fist bump.
Cool. Yeah, so the blue one.
I think this is the first time Kay has actually done damage in a battle.
Really?
Yes.
Nice work.
Yep.
Oh,
Because last time, if I remember, she just violently waved a pitcher around and did nothing.
that is true. So this guy, everybody move far away from him. Yeah, he's gonna go after Fletcher because Fletcher is the one who just hit him with cold stuff. So, yeah, he's gonna roll. See what we get here. That is a 15.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, big 1 point of damage. Yeah.
Even a
What,
wizard
that's
can do that.
That's like half of Fletcher's hit points.
Yeah, right. So then
1/4 of my
this crossbow bolt comes streaking across the water line and just like kneecaps you. You like pulled your robes up above your legs so you could wade in the water, so he just like kneecaps you, and you're like, ah.
Guys, Fletcher just took an arrow to the
To
knee.
the knee. He was an adventurer.
used to adventure. I'm done. Bye.
He is
I'm trying to
officially.
get on the pillar.
No, every time you return to town, I'll just come walking by you and just start saying that to you.
Like jumps around.
Awesome. Cedric, it's your turn now.
Okay, I'm gonna attack the remaining guy with my sling.
Ooh, what is the range increment on your sling?
50 feet.
Wow.
50 feet. Okay, so he is within 50 feet.
Okay, cool. I miss anyways.
What was your roll?
I got a 3 plus 1.
Okay, then.
So,
God, you hit.
I'm assuming a 4 doesn't hit, yeah.
No, yeah, you're
Like,
right.
Yeah, does it skip anything?
Skip, but it just goes skipping right past him, and he just like.
I meant to do that. Look, see how far I went? What 50 feet, I swear.
Anything else, Cedric?
No.
He's like, no, we're good. And Artemis. Oh no.
No,
Can anybody hear her?
I
Wait,
cannot hear her.
Is she doing that on purpose to make it seem like she's...
Slow shake of the head.
Oh man,
No,
this
I don't
stream
hear anything.
cursed.
But
Oh no.
Our stream is cursed.
Rebecca can hear us,
really quick.
yeah, Rebecca can only now play by holding up signs.
Yeah. It's the worst podcasting ever.
Popping out and popping back in again quick. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Cursed.
First.
What did you say about trying to move the battle along quickly in that
I
email?
did. I said that, didn't
well,
I?
I mean, we started half an hour late, and
We're gonna do what we do, and it's gonna be great. Hi.
Now can you?
Yeah, woo!
Go for it,
Yeah.
Artemis.
Okay, there's, oh my gosh, everything is wonky now. Okay, there, that needs to go there. Now I can see things. Okay. Oh, that was so stressful.
Sorry.
It was really funny as I was saying, I mutter under my breath so no one else can hear. I was like, what did you say?
What sorcery is this?
Who said anything about sorcery?
There's nothing happening. So,
There's nothing happening.
So under my breath, so no one else can hear, I cast a magic missile.
Okay, cool. All right, so roll your damage on that guy.
Okay. 3.
Cool. So pew, this little point of light again. Well, actually, no, she's standing right out there in the open. So maybe you don't necessarily hear her, but very quickly you all see this sort of like, well, maybe not Lucanus because he just finished slicing and dicing that guy. But sees this little,
He has blood in his eyeballs.
everybody else sees this little point of light go streaking out from Artemis and just like perfectly hit this creature in the water. Pew, and he kind of takes the hit and still holding onto his crossbow, but he's looking a little less certain about, his life choices and
Life in general.
Yeah, so that was that. Kay, it's your turn.
I can move like a square first, right?
Yeah, you can move your entire movement and also make an attack.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna.
You're gonna what?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, what happened?
Oh no.
Today is not our day.
This is what it did to me shortly, and then when I talked, you couldn't hear me.
All right.
Hi, Nancy.
Okay.
Nice to be back.
Ah,
Now the audio is gone.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
the most cursed stream ever. I don't know what's going on. I'm so sorry, everyone. This was not what we intended.
Hello.
Nope.
She's gonna
we
have to
exactly
hang up
what we
and call
intended.
back.
We were like, yeah. Everybody watching at home doesn't realize that we actually wanted there to be a lot of technical difficulties because we thought that would be fun for everybody.
It makes it so much more
We
exciting.
spent so long planning this. You guys have no idea how hard it is to make technical difficulties happen on
Saying
cue.
that we should stream on Twitch because
Yeah.
Twitch streaming is just fraught, but
Well, I mean, it is kind of like this at conferences. We go. There's always that one talk that just won't load.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Alright, can you hear me now? Hello? No.
Yep.
No.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Alright, cool. How do I measure?
It's like the circle and the ruler,
Circle with like a line in it on the left-hand side.
like a comb.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You gotta click on actual Roll20 and not on the VC chat.
I know. Yeah, I did it. All right, it's within range. All right, I'm going to crossbow it in the face again, and I know how to do this. First, I roll to see if I hit it.
Yes.
Do I add the initiative to that? No.
Nope. Just your attack bonus with your bow. So since it's a ranged weapon, that's your dexterity.
All right, I got a 17 plus 3. I got a 20.
Yes.
I'm assuming I hit it. Okay, and then I will roll a d6
Roll a d6.
with 1 point of damage.
Oh man, heavy hitters going on right now. Okay, so again, another arrow just pew, and it kind of gets stuck in some of the flappy bits on his neck, and he's like, ah.
That's a very
We have an
good
enemy with flappy bits.
Mhm.
Can I like move back and dodge again?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna like.
Whoop.
That's the measuring tool. How do I make the measure?
Go back to the arrow. Yeah.
I got it. All right, I hide again. I'm probably still in range.
Are you? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Lucanus.
Okay, so I have a dagger, right?
Yes. Switching weapons is a move action if you do not have whatever the feat is that lets you do that faster.
Ooh, okay, did not know that.
Or
Because I know I'm not in range to like.
right, so this is kind of a house rule-y thing. I will let you guys switch weapons as you're moving. Yeah,
Okay.
you can switch weapons like as you're moving. But if you were like just standing in front of someone and you wanted to like switch weapons, you would have to like that's a move action. But yeah, so you can switch to a different weapon as you move.
Okay, so Lucanus is gonna run back up to his cloak and armor on the beach. Okay.
Mhm.
And
So like back up.
yeah,
Let's see
up by like, we'll
Like
just
here?
say yeah.
Okay. Yep. So that's 20 feet.
Yep. And he produces a javelin from his robe.
Whoa! All right. So throw that javelin. So that's
What else do you have in that robe of yours?
I like to imagine you have like stuck it in the sand as like a parasol.
Oh, that would be friggin' awesome.
I love it. So the attack with the javelin, I'm assuming you're throwing it.
Yes.
Okay. So that'll be the 20 plus your base attack bonus of 1 plus your dexterity bonus.
Okay, so let's see. I got a 13. Dexterity is +2, and attack is going to be let's see, +4 under the rage.
No, your base attack bonus is 1, and your dexterity is +3.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's all right. Your strength is what changes, so you're used to calculating with melee weapons. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Definitely hits. Definitely hits the guy. So roll your javelin damage.
And that's a D6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And are you? Ooh. You're gonna need to get closer in order to throw that, actually, because the javelin is a range of 30 feet. So let's
so I just
move to like here.
Yeah. So and then
That way, and now you're within 30 feet.
Yeah, I got a 4 on the damage.
All right, so you sprint up onto the beach, you grab this javelin out of your stuff, you run forward and huck it, and it just like arcs through the air ever so gracefully. Everybody watches it, and it just hits the guy like right here, and it's like he like falls back, and it just fails him. So he's kind of like just on it, kind of at an angle up on the water, and then he sort of like slides down the javelin. Yeah, good combat, everybody.
Yeah, we did it.
You did it. You killed the fish guys.
All right.
Okay,
So,
that was fun.
Can I go loot them now?
You certainly may. And I can loot them now.
Fletcher moves over.
I'm a big fan of that enthusiasm.
Fletcher's looking at this creature,
Okay.
trying to see what he can learn about it. He's never seen anything like it.
Okay. So Lucanus, you're trying to loot that one, and Fletcher, what do you want to do with the one you're at?
I think I'm just trying to investigate it, and learn about it.
Okay, so you're
take it.
learn about it. Okay. Okay. So Lucanus, let's have you make a search check.
Okay. D20. I got
Plus
a 1.
your search. You got a 1. It's a guy with fins. There's a crossbow in his hand. There's a crossbow in his hand and a long spear at his side. That's pretty much all you notice right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the crossbow and the long spear. Those are things I'm probably gonna end up hawking later.
Okay.
So can I loot the other? Can I loot the other guy too?
You certainly may. Fletcher, you said you're just looking at him. You just want to learn things about him, I guess.
Yeah, I'm probably taking notes. I mean, if it's I'm trying to record what I can about the flora and fauna and geography and all those things.
Sentient species that you murder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we just murdered 2 farmers protecting their crops.
Mm-hmm.
So I can give you a little bit more of a physical description now that you're right up on the thing. So it's a humanoid body shape. So 2 arms, 2 legs, neck, and a head. It is very sort of fish-like. So the face, it does have a face, eyes, kind of a nose and a mouth, but the nose and mouth is very fishy, so with big sort of needly sharp teeth, lots of frilly fin type things around the head, on the neck, on the arms, webbed fingers, webbed flipper feet, and fins on the legs. The one that you're standing at also has a long spear and a crossbow.
Can I also move to the one that Fletcher's looking at and just stare at it inquisitively?
Sure. Yep.
And I nudge its foot with my foot.
Well, it's kind of quick.
Cedric from the beach calls out to Kay. Kay, are you familiar with these creatures?
No? Why do you think I'm looking at it?
I don't know, maybe you've never seen a dead body before.
I mean, I've seen a dead body, but not a fish, human thing body.
You guys want to drag them up on the beach so I can look at them?
Why don't you just get in the water?
I don't want to get my armor all rusty.
Then take it off.
Lucanus yells over to Cedric as he reaches the second body. I mean, if she hangs around me, she's going to see dead bodies. That's kind of what happens when I'm around.
I did half the damage to this one though first. I mean, the other one I did nothing, but this one I at least tried.
Where am I right now, by the way?
We don't need to move you because it's yeah.
Oh, I was gonna high five K.
Oh, okay. Here, yeah. You said you were moving over here, so.
Yeah. So, and then I'm definitely gonna loot that guy too.
Okay. Roll another search check.
You're gonna try and loot that guy. Maybe you'll notice he has fins this time.
Yeah.
Ryan, loot this guy.
Okay, I got a 5.
Is that's the die result?
Yep.
Do you have any ranks in search?
Let's find out.
You're so bad at this.
So search is any ranks that you have in search plus your intelligence modifier.
I have. Let's see. It says miscellaneous modifier 2, and then intelligence is +0.
I think the misc for search for you might be specific to. I think it's specific to doors or something because you're an elf.
Yeah.
But the entire thing is what?
2.
Okay, so it's 5 + 2 for 7.
Yep.
Okay, so with a 7, this one also has a long spear and a crossbow. This one also has 10 crossbow bolts.
All right.
So, Cedric calls out, do you think that maybe these could be what Karissa's people are? Do you think maybe we just killed some of her family? Does anybody see any Gilldeweed out there?
There's a D in that. That's copyright. It's Gilldeweed.
Gilldeweed. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's Cedric's accent. He can't pronounce the D correctly.
He is in dwarf.
Fletcher's starting to kind of push seagrass.
He's a dwarf.
Borders down.
Okay.
Kind of looking for the small clumpy structures that she described.
Yeah, so you definitely see there's a small clumpy plant kind of growing right next to this dead body. So you can see that one there.
Oh, just have to reach into this bloody water.
Awesome! I vote you!
Lucanus, were you taking the long spear and the crossbow and the bolts that you found?
Oh yeah, and I retrieved my javelin too from the other guy, right?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you
remember
carry?
to tell me stuff like that. Yeah.
So
I would totally forget all my stuff. Oh wait, can Kay get her arrow out of this guy's stomach?
How many arrows did you shoot?
I shot 2, one at this guy and one at the other guy.
You get 1 back. Basically, the way we ammo works, because sometimes ammo is going to get broken or lost or washed away in the ocean. So basically, the rule is that you get half back of what you used in a combat. So if you shot 2, you get 1.
Okay, well, cool. I
you did.
Excellent.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Lucanus helps collect.
Fletcher,
I realize now that there's like a whole thing on this sheet about ammo, which I should probably keep an accurate notice of.
What?
he reaches down and grabs what he assumes is the Gilldeweed based on the description, and like pulls it out of the water and holds it up. I think this is what we're looking for.
She's gonna eat that shit stuff. She's gonna eat that stuff.
Lucanus just
Apparently
sort
so.
of.
All right, cool.
If it'll help her, I guess.
Can Lucanus take a small bite of like a,
Wait, sorry, I heard two things at once.
Can Lucanus take like a small bite of a leaf?
Of the Gilldeweed?
Yeah.
This one that Fletcher's holding?
Yeah.
Are you gonna see Fletcher's holding it and Lucanus is just like,
Yeah, you can take a bite of it.
Well, I was thinking by now I had my own, but you know what? It's just hilarious to take a bite out of.
You didn't say that you had taken one, so.
Oh, I said Lucanus starts collecting.
Oh. Okay. Well, you'll want to tell me which ones you're taking.
Oh.
Can we see the ones on the map, or do we have to roll initiative for them?
Huh?
Can like our characters see what's on the map? Like the.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
I mean, it's a seagrass bed, but it's not so thick with grass that you can't see those clumps. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I guess I'll go and grab one. Are the different colors important?
That one.
Probably.
Oh wait.
Make a nature check.
Oh damn it! Ask innocent question. What kind of nature check is it? Just like an initiative, or not initiative?
Just a nature skill, a knowledge nature check.
Okay, knowledge nature check.
Yeah, I think if when Fletcher continued and he picked up a different colored one, he'd probably be wondering about this same thing. Like if they're different plants
so
or what.
you've encountered this one now, and you're realizing, yeah. So you can also make a knowledge nature check.
All right, I have nothing extra in nature.
Cool, let's do it.
It's local though. Does that count? All right, cool.
Not local to where you live.
Well, I got a solid 10, so.
Okay. Fletcher, what did you get?
I got 13.
Okay. So you definitely notice that some of them are more purple and some of them are more green. And the plants that you guys are most familiar with, like, plants are normally green-ish. So you feel like the green ones might be what you're looking for, but I mean, it's a strange new world and a plants that you aren't really that familiar with. So like, it could be the purple ones. You don't know if the purple makes them more magical, but green is the kind of plant you're more familiar with.
I mean, there's no reason not to collect them all, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can let our buyer sort through them. That's typically what buyers do when we pawn stuff.
Sure. Okay.
I'll pick up this one.
So you're taking this one? Okay. Yeah. All right. So you take that one. Fletcher, are you taking that one?
Yep.
My little. Oh no! As Fletcher grabs that chunk of Gilldeweed and lifts it off the sand, you see the sand sort of fall in. There's a hole under this plant, and as the sand falls in, the water sort of swirls up out of the hole into this like. It's all water as far as you can see. This sort of like translucent like seawater thing, but it's this swirling mass that sort of sprouts things that look like arms, and it moves towards you in a menacing manner, and I need you to roll initiative again.
We all hate you.
That's what I'm here for.
No, not you. We all hate Fletcher.
Doing what we came here to do?
Yes. Why don't we sniff it better, or poke it, or something?
Poke it?
Yeah. Do you have a wand or a staff or something for that exact nudge, nudge, nudge?
I have 2 long spears now, I guess.
Okay. I need to do the thing as well. Okay.
This sounds like something Fletcher would recognize. It sounds like it's like an elemental form.
I will let you do a check on your turn. Okay, so anybody with initiative greater than 20?
We all roll initiative? Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're, like, definitely not paying attention.
I got a 1! I'm definitely not
That was a really good shout.
I have a grand total of 5.
Yeah, anybody with an initiative greater than 20?
Kay is, like, very distracted by how this little purple thing wiggles in the water.
Cool. Initiative 20 to 15.
I got a 19.
You got a 19.
I got a 14 plus a 2.
Okay.
I knew those fish guys went down too easy. I knew it.
Okay, 15 to 10.
I got an 11.
Okay. 10 to 5.
8.
Okay.
It's an initiative roll. I can't get double digits. That's not
Right.
I got 5. I just got straight 5.
There's always a character in every party whose initiative is like that.
And I have +1. There's no reason for this.
Okay, so Fletcher, you are going first because, you know, you pulled this up out of the water and this thing is sort of swirling and forming and you see it. And yeah, go ahead and make a knowledge arcana check first.
Arcana? Okay.
Yeah. Or knowledge the planes, if you've got that. I don't know what all knowledges you have.
Yeah, I have Arcana, and I have a 20.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes, this is definitely a water elemental.
I figured it would have been something I would have learned about. That's why I was like, I probably recognize it.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
But have you been slapped in the face with one?
Yeah, it's doing things in the field is much different than just learning about it in a classroom. That's what Fletcher's learning very quickly.
It's an important lesson.
And he really quickly
It's
casts.
also in your face.
He very quickly casts shield in front of himself. So
Okay.
a translucent or invisible power shield shaped disc of force appears in front of him, between him and the water elemental.
Nice. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay, cool. Did you want to relay any of that information to your friends or no?
Yeah, I guess I throw up the shield and turn towards the shore where most people are, and just yell like it's a water elemental.
And with your knowledge of elementals and the fact that you got a 20 on that, not only do you know it's a water elemental, but you also know that it is immune to a few attacks that your friends might try.
That's what I was wondering, if I knew that like slashing probably won't do anything to it. Like,
so the normal attacks will, but because it is sort of an amorphous creature, it doesn't have a face, so it is immune to being flanked. It is immune to critical hits because it doesn't have an anatomy per se, and it's also immune to things like poison, paralysis, sleep effects, and stunning.
Awesome.
Does slashing damage work?
Yes, as far as you know.
Okay.
All right, Lucanus, it's your turn.
Okay, so, armor modifier, 3.
I'm assuming you want to move up to it, right?
Yeah, move up to it. I got a 3.
On your attack?
On the, no, on the, 20. So, and then on the attack, I got a 12, though.
Wait, I'm confused.
So first you roll d20.
Yes.
Right? I got a 3 there.
Okay.
Then I rolled the 2d6 for the damage. I got 12.
No. So first you roll the 20,
Okay.
and you add whatever number you got on the 20 to, you're using your great sword again, I assume?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So you roll the 20, and you add that number to your base attack bonus, and for your great sword, it's your strength. You're no longer raging, so it's your normal strength.
So it's going to be a plus... So strength is +2, and then the attack bonus on the great sword is +3.
Okay, so that's... No. Okay, so the great sword base attack, the great sword attack bonus is your normal strength plus your base attack. So you can just use that plus 3. So you rolled a 3 and you add 3, so that's a 6. That misses. Anything else? You moved.
Good effort.
Yeah, you moved 5 feet to get to it, and you slashed at it, so you can move more, or you can stay there.
I think I'm gonna move back a little bit, as much as I can to just sort of scope out the field and see what's going on, because I don't think Lucanus, this is the sort of enemy Lucanus has faced before.
Okay, so just so you know, if you move more than 5 feet away from it, it will get an attack of opportunity on you.
Then no, I'm not gonna move back.
Okay, like I said, you can take a 5-foot step, but any more than that, and it will get an attack on you.
Yeah, well, let's just take a 5-foot step back then.
Okay, which direction would you like to go?
Away.
Away? Just like back here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Don't trip over the dead body behind you.
Neat. Alrighty. So it is the swirling creature made of water is going to it's formed these big swirling arms of water now, and it's going to reach out with them and just sort of try to like hammer down on top of Fletcher, because that's who's right in front of it. So it is going to make a slam attack. Whoa, that is a 9. That definitely misses.
Yep.
Alrighty.
The water
Fletcher.
crashes over my shield.
Cool. Yep. That's fun. Yeah, so it's pretty much just gonna stay there and sort of swirl and look at you, and yep. So now it is Cedric's turn.
All right, Cedric from the beach yells out, "You stand against the hammer of justice, foul demon in the abyss!" and casts Bane on the creature. So,
Kay was not paying attention before because she was distracted by the thing, but then looked up and was like, huh?
So it has a -1 penalty to attack rolls and a -1 on saving throws against fear.
Okay, so how does Bane work? It's
It is it affects all creatures or all enemies within 50 feet, lasts for a minute, and it's a will saving throw.
a will saving throw. What is it trying to beat?
I don't know how to calculate that. In 3.5.
So that's something you should have ready to go, but let me
Yeah.
I can find it real
I mean, I've got a total of, nope, that's for my, so I guess it's my spell save is, yeah, I should have that calculated already, and I don't, sorry.
It's okay. I think it's gracious. Oh my gosh. Why isn't this easy to find? Sorry, everyone. I haven't done a caster in a while.
Yeah, and I've never done one in 3.5. Okay, it is 10 plus spell level plus casting ability.
That's it.
Okay, so,
So 10 plus, it's a 0 level spell, first level spell?
that's first level spell.
Okay, so that's
So 10 plus 1 plus 2, so
10 plus
13.
1 plus 2, so 13, so it fails. So what does Bane do to it?
So it has a -1 to attack rolls and saving throws versus fear.
Okay. For how long?
For 1 minute.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Anything else, Cedric?
That's it.
Alright, Artemis.
Guys, maybe instead of attacking things in the water, we should check to see if we should be attacking things. Hello, creature thing. We're just trying to help a friend and collect some plants.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. I'm hitting the button. I'm hitting it.
I'm hitting the button.
Every time. Okay. So let's see. So 12 with my very large bonus. It's a 12.
Okay. So you yell that, and it kind of like, and it like looks towards you. Is that all you're doing?
That's all I'm doing. I'm
Okay.
tired of shooting at things.
All right, Kay, it's your turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna move down, like here-ish.
Okay.
So I use the measure thing. I move like here-ish. And then shoot at it with the crossbow.
Shoot at it.
I just said maybe we should stop shooting at things.
It didn't hear you. It didn't do
I
anything.
meant you.
What? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna shoot at it anyway. It's currently trying to hit what's his face.
Well, we can't let that happen.
No, before elementals. Come on. All right. I'm gonna shoot at it with
You are.
the crossbow, so I'm gonna roll the 20 d20 first. Ooh, I got a 19.
Wow.
Plus dexterity plus 3, so 21.
Nice. What does your short bow have written next to it?
Short bow plus 3 attack bonus, damage 1d6, critical times 3, range increment
It's
60
a times
feet.
3. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was maybe a threat on a 19. So what was the total?
21.
That's a hit. Do some damage.
6.
6. This is the part of the game where I get to do math, my favorite. Awesome. Okay, you moved a little bit. You shot it. You want to take any more movement, or are you good?
I think I'm good. I'm assuming it can't hit me from here, I hope.
You can assume that. Alrighty, back to the top. Fletcher, you are standing there in front of it with this sort of swirly or sort of shimmery shield between yourself and this behemoth made of water. What would you like to do now? How long does that shield last?
It lasts I believe a minute. Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. Are you
Currently.
you're gonna keep track of that?
Yeah. So I kind of have one hand up as if it's like making the shield, and with the other one, I'm going to try to use acid splash, which creates a missile of acid to hit him.
Technically, he's not shooting it, he's just blasting it with acid.
Yeah.
Well, there is a thing about doing range stuff close up, but I don't have it off the top of my head right now. So
The good news is you're doing it in the correct chemistry order. You should add acid to water.
okay, so
You learned about that in university, I'm sure.
because you're
Yeah, I
casting
can also, since I can do the 5 foot step back.
I would recommend that because if you cast a spell while you're right up against someone like that, they do get an attack of opportunity on you.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yeah, then I do the single step back to then try to cast this. And it counts as a ranged touch attack again.
Right.
And that is, let's see, 15.
15 hits. Roll some damage.
Okay. 3 acid damage.
3 acid damage. Cool.
Yeah, 3 acid damage.
Okay, Lucanus.
How's it looking? How's it looking?
Still swirling.
Watery.
It got hit by some acid, and the acid kind of like bloop into it and a little bit. So it definitely, it doesn't have like a face, so it's not something you're able to read in terms of like how it's looking or how it's feeling. It just kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just
Sort of like
diluted
how I
it.
see
He's
people's
still at, like, a
faces.
pH 7.
Okay, so I got an 18 this time around.
To hit. Okay. 18 misses.
18 misses?
Uh-huh.
Mark.
Whoa.
These things are watery, so even though you can do like slashing and bludgeoning and whatever damage to them, they are a little harder to actually do damage. So 18 misses.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm just gonna sort of take another 5-foot step back and figure out what I'm gonna do.
Okay, you're doing the dance back and forth.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep, I'm dancing with
so
this
the
guy.
elemental. All right. So the elemental sees you dancing and is like, well, I mean, we can't assign emotions to it because, yeah. But it's going to move this way toward you, and it is going to attempt another slam attack with the -1 because of Bane. Which, Bane is such a great spell.
We doing a dance off, bro?
That is dance off. That is a 17 against Lucanus's armor class.
Armor class is 15.
Alrighty, so it does in fact, it reaches out with one giant swirling water arm and just kind of clocks you right in the cheek.
Bah! Lucanus says.
That is damage. 8 points of splash slamming damage.
I tried to help, man. 8 points?
8 points.
You're like on the beach, just like wiggling your arms around. You're like afraid to get your pants wet.
Okay, Cedric, speaking of which, it's your turn.
I'm like, come on, Cedric, we're all in the water.
Feels great. Come on in.
It's time to get wet, Cedric.
Telling the cleric to come in to get closer
It's
to
holy water. Come get blessed.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work against it. Yeah, I'm gonna attack it with my sling again.
Okay.
Oh.
You are pretty far away. Is that within range for your sling? What is
I believe so. And it's 50 feet.
50 feet? Okay, cool.
Provided he hits.
No, I don't. I did not hit. Again, it doesn't matter.
Never mind. Anything else?
I guess I'm gonna start wading through the water towards it.
Cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
And the Tin Man enters the water.
So it's 30 feet away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can't get to it. So I'm just
because your speed is 25, is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because you're short.
Because he's short.
Yeah. It's not hard to move in water when you're short, alright?
We're now walking through like chest deep water. So.
No, wearing chain scale mail.
Who's taking it off?
Right.
Yeah, but I would have the AC.
Okay, Artemis, what you got?
What can I do a check to see what Artemis knows about how powerful elementals are?
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
That was good.
Okay, so 24.
Whoa. Yeah, so you, though maybe not a traditional arcane student, have definitely still learned a bit about the world in your own way. So water elementals, most elementals actually come in a rather wide range of sizes, all the way from your itty-bitties all the way up to the big honkin' really scary ones. This one is pretty small in terms of like their size range, but it still seems to be hurting your friends. Yeah. You just wanted to know like how powerful it can be. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they can be incredibly powerful. The largest ones can do all sorts of strange things. Specifically, water elementals can cause huge tidal waves and vortices that could suck people down underwater. You're fighting in shallow water right now, so that's maybe not as much of a concern, but that is something that they can do.
Okay, so Artemis like kind of stares at the sky for a second and then does a deep sigh and then casts magic missile again.
Okay, do some damage. Magic Missile is like 3.5 Sorcerer's version of Eldritch Blast.
3 damage.
3 damage. Oh boy, more math. Hold on. Wait for it.
Does Magic Missile always hit?
Magic Missile is an auto hit. It's the only
Okay.
auto hit spell, and boy, is it a great thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't do very much damage, but it is guaranteed to do some damage. Alrighty, Artemis, is that it?
That is it.
That's it. Alright, Kay.
Well, I have a game mechanics question. If I shoot it from here, will I have have penalties for not shooting an arrow through Fletcher's face? Or should I
Not
move?
through Fletcher, you're concerned about Lucanus right now. So,
Am I
well,
really concerned
I
about
guess
Lucanus?
it's kind of a both question, because so yeah, your line of sight is a little obscured by Fletcher, but also shooting into melee gives you a -2 penalty on your attack. So if you moved so that you were no longer shooting through Fletcher's square, you would still have a -2 penalty to shoot because Lucanus is in melee with it, and you don't want to shoot him either.
Okay. So regardless of where I move, he's like dancing with it, so I could accidentally hit him.
Yes.
Well, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Cool.
I think I will move out of the line of sight.
Okay. You also want to make sure that turtle isn't in your line of sight.
I actually, I can't see him. He's blocked by the Rebecca's square. Oh wait, there's a zoom button. Ooh, all right, there we go. Hold on. Where's the turtle? I don't actually know where I moved from.
You moved from here, so I think you moved.
Okay.
Yeah, you moved like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is okay. Where I probably won't make turtle soup out of Fletcher or the turtle.
Yep.
I swear to God, don't you hit that turtle.
Artemis will come over and magic missile me.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just going to breach out of the water and just get hit by the arrow.
No.
All right. So I roll to hit with a -2 penalty, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we know an 18 misses, so I got a 19 plus 3, 21 -2,
No, that would be 22 minus 2.
20.
All right, that hits.
Ah!
Roll some damage.
Roll some damage. 5.
5. Man, I love math. Awesome. Good hit, Kay. All right, so you pull back on your short bow and you let the arrow fly, and Lucanus, you can like see the arrow coming through like through the body of the water elemental, but it sinks in, and the mass of the water stops the arrow's momentum, like right before it gets to your face, and you're just like, okay.
Can you give him a thumbs up? In the corner.
All right, Kay. Fletcher, it's your turn again.
Okay. Well, luckily that thing moved away from me. So I'm going to move up here.
Over here.
And I think all I can possibly do now to try to be helpful is fire my light crossbow at it.
Okay. Again,
So I guess actually I probably would have moved. I'd be more maybe with them, or like so that I'm not obstructed by anybody.
Well, now you're going to be shooting straight through Lucanus.
Yeah, and I really don't appreciate that.
I think I traumatized him enough already.
That's better.
Regardless of what the map shows, I'm moving somewhere that is not what's going to happen because
Perfect.
I'm not going to try to pierce through somebody.
Perfect. You're still going to get that -2 penalty because...
yeah, which is why I don't expect this to actually work. But
I mean, you never know.
Kay tried to pitch it last week, okay? Like, it's all about what's in your heart.
Yeah, it's only a 13, so.
Okay, so yeah, you're kind of streaking past the elemental and just into the water. Okay, Lucanus.
Lucanus is going to hightail it up to the beach, too.
All right, so if you are leaving, it gets to make an attack of opportunity on you. Still with that -1 to attack. Oh, wow, that was a natural 2. Nope. you turn around and you hear the big like boom of the water, the arm, and you just like drop it like it's hot, and the water just goes right over your head, and then you make it up to the beach. So you would like to end up like, but like next to Artemis, behind Artemis.
Wherever my shit is. So.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Over here is fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a question: are water elementals less powerful not in the water?
Our DM is not going to tell us.
Maybe we should try and lure it out of the water to try.
That's what I'm doing.
Sure it is. I'm pretty sure you were just running away, but whatever.
Yeah, could I, do I still have enough for, like, a turn or something?
Yeah, you can still, you moved, like, 30-ish feet, so yeah, you can still attack if you'd like.
Alright, well, I'm gonna put my armor on.
Oh, that is gonna be, like, a full round action.
Round action.
Yeah, to put your armor on, definitely.
Okay, alright, well...
Just put your underwear on, it's fine.
Okay, well then, I'm gonna, like, can I pick up a javelin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up, another javelin and throw it.
Okay.
Hopefully over my head.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he'll take a step to make sure that you're not in the way.
Yeah.
But, like, here. Alright, so roll your d20 and add your dexterity bonus, or, well, yeah, add the attack bonus for the javelin.
It's not really relevant because I pulled a 1.
Oh, neat. Cool. Awesome. The javelin, he runs up to the beach after ducking under the water elemental's head, and he grabs the javelin, but his hands are all wet from being in the ocean, and he throws it, and it only makes it like 10 feet into the water before it just sticks in the sand in the super shallow water. Alright, so now it's the elemental's turn. Boy, oh boy, choices. Well, all of the people are over here, I guess. So it's gonna go and come into melee with Cedric.
Cedric might actually be useful for once in his life.
And make a slam attack against Cedric. Which is... That's a 14.
Oh, my AC is a 16.
Oh, all right. So it moves up to you, and it goes to swing, but you're clutching your holy symbol of Moradin, and you'd cast Bane on it, and so it just it goes to swing its arm, and there's just sort of like something stopping the swing.
Yeah. Blind faith.
Yeah, blind faith. Okay, and now it's your turn, Cedric.
All right. Well, now that it's here, I'm gonna swing my warhammer at it. Yeah. That's an 19.
A 19. Roll some
Yes.
damage.
Yes. That is 5 damage.
5 damage. Awesome. Yeah. So now you can see it's kind of smaller than it was when it started. It's definitely quite a bit smaller than it was when it started. It's like there's less water making up this creature now. Anything else, Cedric?
I'm gonna yell, die, accursed fiend!
I'm gonna yell. Okay. Artemis.
I have nothing as good to say as diagnosis. Like, how do you follow that?
You just walk out. You just leave the game. You're like, bye.
I can't. I'm going to go ahead and cast Ray of Frost.
Okay. So
that's good. My rolls are so good today. They're just the best rolls.
Yep,
I rolled a 2.
That is a good roll.
It would be even better if it was followed by a 0 after the 2.
Just a 2, you know?
This little sort of like grayish silvery bead of light that you've seen now from both Fletcher and Artemis comes out of Artemis's hand, and it like lands on the water right in front of Cedric, between Cedric and the water elemental, and it sort of freezes the surface of the ocean, like right in between you guys.
Nice.
Anything else, Artemis?
No, and then I just look sad. I look sad.
And Kay.
Well, I don't want to make turtle soup, so I'm going to dodge the turtle, I guess.
It's very rare that you get to use like animals as rough terrain.
Kill
the
turtle.
Alright, I guess I'm going to shoot with my bow. I'm going to yell first, like, maybe we should try and get it out of the water! And then shoot it.
Okay, roll your attack.
Yeah, right. I have a -2, right? Because Cedric is poking it?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
It's like,
No.
that missed. It's a 3 total.
3 total. Cool. What did you roll?
A 5, and then I have +3, and then -2.
So a 5 plus 3 minus 2 would be a
So it's 7. Whatever.
Okay, but still.
Regardless, it misses. It's not a 19, so it missed.
That's fair. Fletcher.
Pew! Get it out of the water!
Yeah, I'm moving up, trying to kind of stay in line so I can see straight at it and trying to fire my crossbow again.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope. What was that? Nope.
That note was for a 7.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, Lucanus.
I am going to put my armor on this round.
Okay, he is putting his armor on. Good choice.
Yep.
Which means that it is now the elemental's turn. So it is still bearing down on Cedric. Like I said, it's smaller than it was before, but it's still there. It's kind of Cedric-sized now. And so it's going to swing again.
Pebbles are Cedric-sized.
Whirling arms. That is a 15.
Nope.
Oh man, he's clutching his holy symbol so tightly with his one hand, and the elemental's arms they keep stopping just short of him. It's kind of incredible. It's like there's a wall there, like a dome around him. So Cedric, it's your turn now.
Excellent. Well, in that case, I'm gonna raise my. For the record, my holy symbol is the wrappings on my warhammer.
Perfect.
So I'm holding it in both hands as I clutch the handle of my warhammer and I swing again at this guy, and that is only a 17.
Nope, that misses. So your hammer kind of and it hits like the front of it, and there's like a little bit of a spray of water, but it doesn't really seem to do anything.
Okay, all right. And then listen, hearing Kay's shout, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step back.
Okay.
Try and pull it a little bit closer to the shoreline.
Cool.
Kay is like directing airplanes. She's like,
okay, Artemis.
I guess I'm gonna start my turn by moving over meow.
Over meow. Okay.
yeah.
And then I will cast magic missile since I don't think my rolls are very good
What?
today. I give up. I give up trying to hit things. Oh, 5 damage.
5 damage. So again, this bead of it's sort of bluish that has been coming from Artemis quite frequently since you guys made it to the beach, which is kind of surprising. But it streams out of her hand, and it goes past Lucanus and Cedric, and it hits this thing, and there's this big splash of water, and now it's quite a bit smaller than it used to be. It is very small now.
If it's smaller than Cedric,
All right.
does it really still pose a threat?
Out of it.
Just curb stomp it.
Oh no!
Rude. So Artemis, you moved and you cast. So Kay, it's your turn.
I guess I just try and shoot it. Sorry, Fletcher, what did you say?
I was just saying, In between that, Fletcher yells down the beach, "Nice magic missile!" Definitely recognizes that.
Oh, yeah, you definitely recognize that one.
Artemis makes a rude gesture.
Awesome.
Okay, so because Cedric is 5 feet back, do I still have that -2 or not?
You
Okay,
are
perfect.
doing your regular attack now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna shoot it with the twangy twang.
The 20, yeah, I know.
Okay. I got an 18 plus 3.
Okay, that hits. Roll some damage.
21. I need a calculator because I can't add 3. I got a 2.
Okay, so her arrow flies and sticks into it, and it's like half in, half out of this water thing, and it sort of it shifts, and it looks like the water almost falls onto the surface of the ocean, and then it sort of reforms, but it's very shaky now. Anything else, Artem? Or sorry, Kay?
No, I'm just gonna be like, back up, get it to the shore.
Alrighty. Fletcher, it's your turn.
Oh, already again. I'm just gonna try to shoot at it.
This is with you have a crossbow?
Yeah. Nope, same result.
Okay. Nope. There's lots of arrows flying around. Not so many hitting it. Is that it?
Pretty much.
Okay. Pretty much. Lucanus, your armor is on now.
My armor is on now. So I got. I was gonna throw a javelin, but I got it too. So.
Okay, so he throws another javelin, and it goes kind of it lands right next to Cedric, and you're just like, ah! It makes this big splash in the water next to you.
Wow, going so far.
Yeah.
Watch it!
Watch it.
It's tiny now. What can I do?
It's tiny.
That's what she said.
So the water elemental is going to move up into Cedric's face again, and it's going to try to make another slam attack. Wow, nope. Nope. It's nope. Yep.
The might of Morden protects me!
The might of Morden does protect you, yep. What are you going to do on your turn?
I'm gonna hit it with my warhammer. I'm gonna hit it so hard. I rolled it at the 20!
Okay, roll to confirm.
So wait, what, I roll again? Is
You
that what
roll
happened?
again and add your attack for your hammer.
So that was a 6 plus something.
A 6 plus what?
1.
Oh, nope. Okay, so it's not a confirmed critical, but it is still, the 20 still hits. So you
Okay.
can still roll your damage. It's just not extra damage.
Aw, damn it. It's only 2 damage.
Only 2 damage?
Yeah.
That is 1 more than you needed. So Cedric takes his hammer and just kind of comes down, and the hammer goes through the head of this creature, and it just sort of parts the water, and the arms and the body shape just sort of
All right, Moses.
become part of the ocean again.
Yeah, Fletcher's like, "You're not Moses. Don't let this go to your head."
This has totally gone to his head.
Very nice.
Yeah. Cedric lifts his warhammer on his head and turns slowly turns around to everybody else on the beach and is just like, "Ah!"
I did half the damage.
Ah!
How many arrows does it have sticking out of it? The ones that are in it are mine.
All right. So yeah, you've killed the amphibious humanoid creatures. You destroyed this errant water elemental that had been apparently trapped under the sand here for perhaps 100 years. Yeah. What would you like to do now?
So as Cedric wades back up on the beach, it's just out of his giant metal boots, it's just goosh, so much water just pouring out of him as he wades. Yeah, it's just it just runs off him in rivulets.
Can I poke this thing? Can I use perception to see if there's something under it?
Under what?
I'm in front of a Gilldeweed.
Okay. What exactly do you want to do?
I just want to make sure there's nothing gonna punch me in the face.
So if you're just looking, that's a perception check. If you're using like your hands or a tool to like move it around, that's a search check.
Where is search? Oh, I found it. Okay. Well, they're almost the same, so I think. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna poke it with, I don't know. I have a dagger. I think I'll just like use my dagger to poke it. 8 plus 6. Yeah.
So 14?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a squishy clump of plants. You squish it, and a seahorse kind of floats out of it.
Oh, cute.
Moves away.
Giant, monstrous, scary, going to kill me seahorse?
No, like a normal sized seahorse. Just
Excellent. I pick up the squishy clump of whatever.
Okay, so you collect this one.
We're taking their microhabitat.
Aww.
Yes, you are.
I'm concerned that if we start disturbing too many more of these clumps, that we'll maybe release another water elemental. I think we've got plenty of Gilldeweed here for our purpose.
No, but we get more money the more we collect.
Are you here for the money, or are you here to rescue a damsel in distress?
I'm a damsel in distress. I'm here for the money.
Good to know.
We do have a sample of both types, it seems, that exists out here. So if either one of these is what Karissa needs, we'd probably be set.
Okay, but we have 3 of one color and 1 of the other. Like, what happens if she needs, like, 2 green ones?
Here, I'm gonna settle this and go grab this purple one over here. This green one over here. I'm over here now.
Alright, so you're taking that one. Cool.
Can I poke this one, too, with my dagger?
You can.
Lucanus, by the way, is like running around grabbing his javelins and like shoving them back in his robes and like.
Perfect.
How big are his robes?
Okay, what did you get?
A 10.
A 10. You poke it, it's squishy.
I guess I'd pick it up.
Okay, you pick this one up.
Artemis, they're like the TARDIS, they're bigger on the inside.
All your cloak pockets.
I'm gonna poke this one too.
Alright.
My ropes
I
have
got
pockets.
a 16.
Oh, 16?
Yeah.
Okay, you poke it, it's squishy.
Perfect. Pick this one up too.
This one?
Yeah. Alright, well we can leave one.
Yeah, that way it can reproduce. That'll be good.
Yeah! There.
That's solid strategy. Okay. So what would you like to do now?
Head back to town.
We don't have any instructions on how to preserve this, right? We just kind of carry it.
Does anyone have like a flask or a jar?
I've got a.
Should we keep the different colors separate? What if like the purple ones contaminate the green ones, or vice versa?
I will put the purple ones in my backpack of holding.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Lucanus offers up his bag.
It's a backpack of holding.
Alright, so Artemis has the purple ones and Lucanus has the green ones, is that right?
Yeah, and he just sort of like awkwardly piles the weapons on top of them.
Do we need to like keep it wet? Because they came out of the ocean. What happens if they dry out?
It is a short walk back to town. I think we'll be all right.
All right. Well, Lucanus can spit on them.
Be alive, do they?
I don't know. They didn't come with instructions.
I know. I think we just take them as is.
All right. I guess I'm gonna like walk out of the water.
Cedric calls out to Lucanus. Lucanus, come here. And as you, I assume, walk over. Puts his hands on you and heals you for all 3 of my first level, or my cantrip level spell slots for 3 HP.
That's right. It's so cute.
It's adorable. Awesome.
Lucanus is kind of exhausted because, about half hit points are gone, and he just puts his hand on his shoulder, obviously out of breath, but the thank you is implied by the... Yeah.
Awesome.
I have random commentary. Remember last week when I didn't actually know what a sickle looked like? I found one here in the hardware store in Ecuador.
Oh, nice.
Did you buy it?
No,
No.
I don't need to kill robbers, nor do I need to harvest weeds, so I didn't buy it. But I was like, oh, this is the thing that I didn't know what it was.
Yep.
So it was apparently Ecuador set it in 972 in Mist Run.
Nice. Alrighty. So what would you guys like to do now?
Probably go back to Elsa as quick as we can, right? And find out.
Okay. So as the characters are,
Oh, I collect my arrows. I get half of them back.
yes, you get half
Yep.
of however many arrows you
And
have.
Fletcher, do you need any crossbow bolts?
Wait,
Does it round up or does it round down?
down. Yeah, sorry.
So now I am not proficient with these crossbows that I have, right?
A crossbow is a simple weapon, so I believe you are.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Are they special waterproof crossbows, since they were owned by Aquatic?
You are proficient with all simple weapons, so you can actually use a crossbow.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Those bolts are mine.
Whoa. All right.
Whoa. Are crossbow bolts different than short bow bolts, I'm assuming?
Yes, so short
Okay.
bows and long bows use arrows, and a crossbow bolt is weighted differently and structured a little differently because of the action of a crossbow.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hold up. I'm going to have to get up.
Uh-oh.
Don't.
Well, what I was going to say is,
Shit.
what's wrong?
I think my field test just got ruined. Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
There is
There's weather happening. There's
there's a
happening.
lot of hail outside.
Oh,
After our bio break, I'm gonna run out to my car to make sure it's not okay, and if I survive that, or to make sure it's okay, and if I survive that trip, I'll bring some back in.
cool. Yeah, I was going to say, as your characters are taking their walk back to New Sechester, we can go ahead and take like a 5-minute break. We'll make it real short since we kind of started really late tonight, and but we will be right back. So if you are watching, thank you for watching. Sorry that it was kind of a messy start today. And because we
It was
started,
a messy start, but we cleaned up the battlefield.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and since we had kind of a rough start, we'll probably save the science conversation until the nature chat. So please stick around and watch nature chat when it comes out next Saturday. But yes, we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back.
This is what was falling outside. So like maybe D6 size hail.
Wow, that's kind of big hail.
So, and that's kind of a problem because we really like the bigger pieces. Sorry, I didn't have my earphones in.
No, that's all right. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, well, we've gotten baseball size hail before.
Ooh.
And we actually really like baseball size hail for our experiments. Even, I'm more worried about the experiment than I am the car because, I have good insurance on the car.
Sure.
So, the thing about, smaller hail is that it's going to fall over a larger, or because the surface area is smaller, there's going to be more of it hitting per square inch.
So the likelihood of it squishing your plants is actually greater if it's smaller hail.
I would, given what I've been told, I would say that we probably... Yeah, and we just got a message from my PI going across the computer, so there might be a few messages coming across my computer because of the hailstorm. Yeah, I would say that there's probably a 50% chance that my experiment is over for the year.
That's why PhDs take several years.
Well,
especially in ecology.
by the way, this isn't the first experiment of ours. It's been shredded this week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's okay. I got a text from the scientist coordinator for the field site where I work the other day. So one of our field sites is it's a remnant, but it's maybe a less high quality remnant, and it has a lot of poison ivy and also a plant called poison parsnip that grows in it. If you're not familiar with poison parsnip, it's a real fun time. In fact, it is more fun than poison ivy, and I didn't know that was a thing until I moved here to the Midwest. But poison parsnip, if you touch the plant, like exposed skin, and then that skin is exposed to sunlight with the chemicals from the plant on it, it'll give you like chemical burns. Like one of the girls in my research group has scars from chemical burns from this plant from several years ago. So yeah, it's a great time. So basically the scientist coordinator texted me to say, hey, can I pull your traps out of that site because we're going to mow it to get rid of those plants? And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I wasn't trapping right now, but other times they've had to pull them out while I have been trapping.
That's a pretty big concern over in the Midwest, because, I mean, it's... So it'll burn people, it'll also burn animals, so like it's a pretty big problem with grazing, and it's just bad news.
Yeah, it's not a fun plant. And here in our
it's the same thing with giant hogweed. That's also sort of reactive.
And by the way, celery too. It produces the same chemicals. I think it's in the same family. I'd have to double check that.
Yeah,
they are.
But
they've all got that same like flower structure.
Yeah, so there's been times where they've like actually been breeding celery, but they got the breeding wrong, and like people who are harvesting it and handling it at the grocery stores like got chemical burns because there's just too much of this chemical in there.
Ooh, that's no fun.
So yeah, agriculture is fun.
Yeah, well, and the worst part about this is that, like, the land managers at the prairie sites where I work do a great job of trying to deal with invasives so that, you know, we do burns, they do chemical sprays, they do mowing and stuff like that, but the parsnip is never going to go away because it grows in all of the roadside ditches and along the edges of all the agricultural fields, so it's just a thing we constantly have to deal with.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. We're all back now. Yay!
Yay!
So thank you for joining us if you're here for the second half. Our heroes just endured 2 different bouts of combat, which they survived fantastically. They have collected 3 purple, supposedly Gilldeweed clumps and 3 green, supposedly Gilldeweed clumps, and they are now, you have now made it back into New Sechester, so you walked back down the beach to the west, back into the city. And I'll say, you said you were going back to Potions and Notions, so that's Elsa Wentz's apothecary shop. It's not going to get old, is it? So it's now, like, probably noon-ish, because, you know, you left first thing in the morning to get to her shop. You had a conversation with her. You walked all the way out there. You fought, and you gathered stuff, and you trooped all the way back. So, yeah, it's probably, like, noon-ish now. And you are back... out in front of Potions and Notions, so this adorable little shop with this nice hand-carved, hand-painted sign, and the painted shutters and the flower boxes on the windows and the little welcome mat out front.
Push the door open and walk in. Hopefully she's still sitting there.
She's just walking back and forth like a video game.
Just moving in place like this.
So when you push the door open, the little bell jingles again, ding, 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 and you hear, "I'll be right there," from the back room, and you recognize it's Elsa's voice.
We got your stuff.
We found what seemed like maybe 2 different plants, or perhaps just a variant of the same Gilldeweed, and we were hoping we could get your expert opinion on it.
Oh, of course. So you can see her, she's coming out of the back room and she's sort of like brushing her hair out of her face. She must have been doing something like on a counter and it's all sort of fallen in her face and she's pulling it back out of the way and, you surely did do that fast. Wow, you must have gone right out there, huh?
Something like that.
Yeah, how was the beach? Was it nice?
Yeah, despite the various things that wanted to kill us, but whatever.
Oh no, you're all right, right? And she sort of like looks at all of you. Well, I'm glad to see there are still 5 of you.
Lucanus holds up the crossbow, but I got this out of the deal.
Sorry, Fletcher, what did you say?
I was saying, I used to be a Gilldeweed harvester. Then I took an arrow to the knee.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you said you found something?
Yes, I forget who has what. We can like play.
I dumped my backpack with just the Gilldeweed bits all over the counter. Or what we assume are the Gilldeweed bits.
You had the purple stuff, right?
I had the purple.
Lucanus just starts slamming weapons on the counter. He's like, I'm really sorry about this. And then just dumps out the rest of the Gilldeweed.
Not those. The plant things.
Yeah,
I'm a barbarian. It's difficult to notice that things aren't weapons, but not the weapons.
He sort of looks at the shopkeeper, gestures to the weapons. These are mine. Think you could use these.
Oh, okay. And she starts looking and all right, yes. So the green ones are the Gildeweed. So that's what you're going to want to give to Karissa if you still want to help her. And I can certainly pay you, like I said, for any that you don't want to use yourselves. The purple ones I can also use. They're not Gildeweed, but it's also something that I can use. So I can also pay you for those unless you want to keep them.
Good thing we got more green ones.
What are the purple ones?
It's a related plant. I don't know the name.
I think that means we get to name it.
I'd like to keep a sample.
Of course, I mean, you harvested them. You're allowed to do whatever you want.
Money.
Well, Fletcher's obsessed with documenting these new things and trying to make it like a name for himself in the academy. So if this is like an unnamed thing, he's like, time to write a monograph about this plant. Like,
Why don't we keep one of each and sell the rest?
How many of the Gildeweed do you think Karissa needs?
As far as I can tell, I think she should only need one.
All right,
Well,
that makes sense.
Well, we've got 3 of them, so should we keep one for her and then sell the other 2?
Yeah, I have no use for Gildeweed.
I'd be happy with keeping only one of the purple. We can certainly sell the Gildeweed.
Cool.
How much do you willing to offer us for the remainder, the 2 green and the 3 purple?
So for the 2 Gildeweed, I can give you 1 gold piece apiece. So that's 2 gold pieces for the green. And then I'd be able to offer you 5 silver for each of the purple ones. So that's 2 gold and 15 silver.
2.
Is that a piece?
That's for the
lot.
For the 4. Or sorry, you were only giving me 2 of the purple. Is that right? Or did you have 3 purple?
3 purple.
3 purple. Yeah. So 15 silver and 2 gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Alright. So she sort of ducks down and she pulls out this very beautiful sort of dark wood box with it looks like maybe thin white pieces of stone inlaid in a very intricate pattern, and she pops open the lid on that on a hinge and starts pulling out the pieces of gold and silver, and she puts those on the counter in a neat pile on top of that sort of purple cloth that she's got, and then closes up the box and puts that back down underneath, and she grabs like a sort of a terracotta container from the wall behind her and starts scooping the clumps of gildeweed and the purple gildeweed into the terracotta and puts it down on the counter.
How are we going to split the 2 gold coins between 5 of us?
And you
Fun
can make
fact,
change.
2 gold is the same as 10 silver.
Okay, perfect.
Or 1 gold is the same as 10 silver, sorry, yes. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I mean, we're good.
So we don't need to do anything to this to prepare it for Karissa to eat?
No, I think she should be able to just eat it, and yeah.
Didn't Lucanus chomp on one of the purple ones?
Did?
Yeah,
How much did you eat?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
One small section.
Oh,
I was just curious how it tasted.
It was kind of squishy and gross and a little salty, but like, yeah, seaweed.
Yeah.
Not observant. Cool.
Speaking of that, thank you for reminding me. Sorry, I was going to give you guys one more chance. So I know before I said that normally, like, multiple people don't get to make checks about stuff, you know, like, oh, Artemis doesn't know about this thing, let me check as well. Like that, you know, you can't do multiple checks like if one person has failed it. But when it comes to searching bodies, like, y'all are allowed to spend more time searching. So I don't know if I mentioned the concept of taking 10 before, but you can take 10 on a roll, or when there's no, like, danger. So like when it's something that's not time sensitive, or like when you're doing things like searching bodies, like more than one person can try to search the bodies, because they're still laying there.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so I wanted to give you guys one more chance at that if you wanted to retroactively have anyone else search the bodies, because you do know that Lucanus only found weapons and some crossbow bolts. And in fact, he only found crossbow bolts on the one that did not actually shoot at you.
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll let like one person can check for each of them, I guess.
What is it?
It's a search check.
Search check. Okay.
Right, I didn't want to let you guys miss out on this, since only one person had checked them. So this is just a little retroactive searching of the bodies.
Well, then my search, probably on the one that I was right by.
The green one.
I got a 23.
Oh, well, okay. Did someone search the blue one that was on the right-hand side of the screen?
I guess I could. I got a 26.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 20 on it. Super helpful.
Okay, so Kay, on the
Sniff.
wow, okay. That's impressive. So Kay, on the one that you searched, you found 9 crossbow bolts.
Sweet. Pick them up.
Also 300 silver.
Oh yeah. Goddamn.
And in a little like pouch on its hip, you found 1 white pearl.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then Fletcher, on the one that you searched, you found another 300 silver and a little leather, a slightly bigger leather pouch, and when you open it up, it's got all kinds of like herbs and sticks and stuff in it, and maybe some like pieces of, it almost looks like, you know, a version of what these creatures might use as cloth. Make a heal check for me.
Heal check.
Mm-hmm.
10.
So this is a healer's kit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was retroactive searching. Yeah, guys, find that stuff.
Yay.
Yay.
Zooming back into Elsa's shop where you are currently, and she says, all right, well, so can I help you with anything else?
I don't believe so.
No.
You've been very helpful.
Wow.
I'm so glad. If you ever need anything else, like I said, I have lots of potions, and also other sorts of bits and bobs that might help you in your adventures. Like I said, it seems like you all are a rather capable group, and if you're planning on spending more time sort of out there in Arda, you might need some things, so I'm around.
Wait, I have a quick math question. Wait, you said we found 300 silver?
You each found 300 silver, so you have...
And isn't there 10 silver to a gold?
Yes, so you found 600 silver total.
I mean, I'm not sharing mine, but I'm just trying to do the basic conversion.
Is Fletcher sharing his?
Before we find out the real stripes of this group.
I mean, I will say, while he might not be sharing what he found, if it came down to needing to buy something for the group, Fletcher would front money for what people like need to do.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be like, oh, you don't have 10 gold. Sorry, you can't buy the healing potion you need to not die right now.
So did you guys tell the group what you found, or?
I didn't say anything.
Nope.
Oh wait, I tell Lucanus that I found crossbow bolts and hand them to him because I can't use them. Here.
Cool.
So you have 9 more crossbow bolts for a total of 19.
Cool.
I kind of grabbed my stuff while I was picking up the Gilldeweed that was right next to the body I was searching.
Yeah,
I think it probably was kind of floating around and I picked it all up.
that's fair. Alrighty.
So, how should we divide up this 2 gold, 15 silver that we just got?
You know what? You keep it.
Maybe.
I say we split it evenly.
I agree. We should split it evenly. Not all of us went to like fancy hoity-toity trust fund baby school.
So that's 6 over each.
I'll take Fletcher's share if he doesn't want it.
You can divide it up.
All right, so divide
All
it four ways then.
35 silver 4 ways.
Lucanus casts a side glance towards Cedric. You know you still owe me 1.5 gold, right?
That is a good point. Guess you can have my share of this.
Which would be what?
35 divided by 4.
Well, remember that there are 10 copper and a silver. So if you need to make more change.
Yeah, I don't... So 35 silver over 4?
Yeah.
And this is where the brave adventurers failed.
Yeah, math.
Making
Yeah.
change is hard.
All of us scientists failed.
Yeah.
The making change part.
So that should
The next thing
be...
that DM will ask them to do is leave a tip at a restaurant when they do a deal.
There's apps for that, okay?
I'm sure one of the party doesn't tip. I'm sure one of them is just that much of a bastard.
We don't tip in Ecuador, so ha.
No, there's no tipping in Arda either.
They pay the serving staff a living wage.
Well, most of the people serving you actually own their establishments. So.
Yeah, that was
35 divided by 4 is 8.75.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So
8.75, and then I make up the difference to Lucanus. Out of
Okay.
So it's plus 8.75 silver.
Well, there's no 0.75, it's like 8.7. So technically it would be 8 silver and 7 copper, and then there's like a little bit of a remainder. So it's 8 silver and 7 copper per person, and then there's 2 copper left over, I guess.
All right, so 8 silver, 7 copper, plus 1.
So if you keep the change, I'm feeling generous.
Lucanus, you keep the change.
Yeah.
Great, so you get 2 more copper.
This is riveting.
Good TV. Good.
All right.
Money calculations over copper pieces.
This is the thing about D&D, though. Like, shopping trips and dividing up the spoils are like the thing that kill groups all the time.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
brings things to a halt. Okay, so you did the thing. I'm assuming you're outside of potions and notions now, back on the street.
yeah.
Well, let's go take Karissa her good herb kush that she needs.
I'm done for today.
Well, so hold on. I wanna. So,
Artemis is dead.
all right. I am proficient. I am proficient
Did I
with the
break
crossbow.
Yes, you did. Yes, you are proficient with a crossbow.
Okay. So, is anybody in the party proficient with the long spear?
Long spear?
A long spear is also a simple weapon, so Lucanus, you are also proficient with that.
Yeah, you're a barbarian. You can use like all those weapons.
Oh, really? Okay.
All simple weapons. Yeah.
So, is a long spear a distance weapon?
It's a 2-handed melee weapon.
Okay. All right. Well, He runs.
And it has reach, which means that you technically threaten like more squares around yourself than normal.
Lucanus runs back to the hotel room, puts one of the crossbows and one of the long spear in it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pawn those
you did
later.
only pay for one night though, so like be aware that he might like give your room to someone else eventually, or might want to be giving your room to someone else because you only paid for one night.
Oh, okay. Well then, I just gather up all my crap because, I dumped it at the room before getting the Gilldeweed and just keep walking.
Just keep that in mind. You don't have a locker unless you pay for the room for.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So I have all my stuff now, and I'm just sort of like laden with weapons. So long spears, hitting the road.
Nonchalantly carrying 50 pounds of weapons.
It sounds like bowls falling downstairs.
Think about how you're going to stow all of that, and also make sure it's not. I mean, your carrying capacity is probably a lot of weight, but just like keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
This is not a video game where you have magic pockets where things. There's no
not yet, anyways.
Stuff for you. Not yet.
No, I'm planning on pawning some of this stuff, but I just need to figure out where to do it.
Cool.
So, how are we going to get the Gilldeweed to Karissa? Lucanus, do you want to infiltrate in the same way that you did before?
I believe
Lucanus again.
I believe I can do that, but the question is getting her out, because mermaids, they kind of have flippers.
Was getting her out part of the deal?
I think that's the least we could do.
I kind of assumed that it was implied. That's what rescue means.
I thought we were just giving her the weed thing.
She just needs her weed. Can it just be a pen?
Lucanus, you do... You do remember that she said that Wurgent kind of scares her, and that she was concerned about trying to leave.
Yeah. So what? She would just want the weed and to stay there?
Okay, well, like, I don't know, maybe you can, like, request her out on town or something for a night.
Take her on a date night.
What if we request her to come to your room at the inn instead of being in the brothel?
Yeah.
Then even if they have to send a guard with her, the inn must have a back way out that we could sneak her out of the inn and then get her to the water. Because we'll be right by the docks. If she's a mermaid, we can just throw her in the water.
Well, that seems rude.
Effective, though.
What does she want us to do?
So, but wait a minute. The shop owner that we just spoke to knew her. She'd met her before. So maybe we should ask her, like, why she was out, and that'll help us figure this out.
How will that help?
Yeah, maybe the shop owner was frequenting the brothel, and that's how she met her.
I mean, if that's what she prefers, that's cool, I guess. But this shop owner has met Karissa, which means that Karissa had been out of the brothel, and maybe even out of the control of the people who are in the brothel. So figuring out the circumstances under which she met the shop owner of the Notions and Potions might be kind of helpful to us.
I'm concerned with, like, dumping her in the ocean. I don't care about her backstory.
Yeah, but if we try to take her out of there, is that something that's gonna work?
I don't know. Seems like a pretty decent shot.
I mean,
The worst they could say to our request for you to take her on to dinner and have her for the night is no.
Yeah. So why don't we try that first?
and then if they say no, then we go in there, hammers a swinging.
Sure.
All right, fine.
All right, so you go in there, and you go request her on a date. You should carry all those weapons on with you so you look particularly menacing.
I suppose. What, you think I should drop these off, Kay?
No, I think you should keep them on you. So you like walk up there and be like, yeah, I want to take this broad out on town, like to my hotel room. So like no one else hears what I'm gonna do to this wench, you know? And then you'll like play the part and seem menacing, and then they'll let
no one hears what you're going to do to her in a hotel room.
Yeah, that
Leon spends a lot of money, and it's a very nice hotel. Very soundproof walls. Probably better than a brothel. Whatever, make a better excuse than I did, but just do it with confidence.
Okay, so
I have faith in you, Lucanus. You succeeded before. You were able to charm that wastrel before. I have faith in you.
is there like a house party in town or something that could? Nah, never mind. All right, let's go to the brothel.
I mean,
Oh boy.
There's this
you have-
DJ down at the dock.
Hootie and the Blowfish are in town.
oh no, Peter's dead.
Gone. Dead.
If we ask, if we can just take her for the night and return her, let's see.
Like a package.
No, that could work.
Clearly, these people think of the employees as objects anyways. We should play into that, take advantage of them.
Red box for hookers. Let's go.
Wow. That's a new one to add to the list.
I'm just trying to spit out random phrases that'll turn it into merch ideas eventually.
I don't think we're putting that one on record. All right, what you doing?
I'm gonna go.
I have voted Lucanus as tribute.
I'm gonna go buy me a hooker.
Okay, so you're going back to the brothel in the slums?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little bit after noon now, but again, like, docks are super busy, there's a lot of people in town, there's a few people sort of moving in amongst the slums, but you make your way to the brothel, same low slung building, holes in the roof, looks like it was built, hundreds of years ago, even though the town is only 20 years old, that kind of thing. There is no one standing outside right now.
Okay, so I am going to... Alright. So I'm gonna go in there and, just so the rest of the party knows, I have 7.19 gold, so I am going to go into the brothel and just sort of look around.
Okay, so you're gonna go up to the door?
Yep.
So the door is closed, but if you try the handle, it is unlocked.
Okay.
So you head inside, I'm assuming you go inside.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, same very dimly lit interior, or not really lit at all. There's the counter in the front, and as you open the door and step inside, you sort of hear this voice from the door, from beyond the closed door that's behind the counter. And you hear this, I'll be right there. And you hear some like shuffling and stuff, and then you see the door opens, and the same man that you'd seen before that Karissa called Wurgent steps out of the counter. Nice to see you again, friend. How can I help you?
Ahoy there! Do any of your ladies do house calls?
House calls? You mean like, not here?
A private party, if you will.
Who did you have in mind?
Well, me, for the customer.
Yeah, I meant, you mean the girl that you had before?
Oh, yeah. As I said, redheads are my thing.
Boy, am I glad I started you with this question.
The listeners just die.
Bonding.
So good we're not there.
Well, for her, well, what's it worth to you?
Well, the going rate was, 2 gold last time?
For an hour, she was 1 gold and 5 silver.
1 gold and 5 silver, so taking her out for... what? 3 hours should be... I can't do the math in my head.
3 gold, 15 silver?
3 gold, 15 silver?
Cedric shouts into the
Somebody give me pigeon!
We're done on math this episode!
What was that? This is not a math episode. Hey, you guys have money now. Every episode could be a math episode.
Yeah. I'm a barbarian. Math is not my strong suit, so I'm perfectly in
God.
character.
Now all I picture is like a Sesame Street episode where it's like, how many gold is that prostitute?
1, 2, 3!
How much gold is one nightstand?
One nightstand. Well, see, and he sort of like leans his elbow on the bar. See, it's just that, you know, with you taking her out of the building, I don't have any assurance on her protection. See, all of these ladies are under my protection, and if you take them out, well, that's dangerous for them, or it could be. I have no worries about you in particular, friend, but, I mean, the city is full of all sorts of people, and I would hate for something to happen to her.
So what do you want to ensure her protection?
Well, like I said, what is this night not in my establishment worth to you? Or I suppose I should say afternoon.
Nice little lunch date.
I already suggested a price, didn't I?
This is like Dirty, or in a Pretty Woman. What?
I already suggested the price
You
of
did.
3.5. Is this
You
his
did.
way of rejecting it, or?
You can make a sense motive check if you'd like.
Let's make a sense motive check. So, let's see, I got a 12, modifier, +1.
So 13?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was his way of rejecting that offer.
okay. Let's see. How about 7?
Are you saying that to him?
Yep.
Make a diplomacy check now.
These never go well.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Except for this time. Damn it.
Got a 5. He sort of raises an eyebrow and he's like, well, we're certainly moving in the right direction.
I need to kill this guy.
Well, that's all my gold. So I'm trying to think as Joe here for a second.
I kind of assumed you weren't saying that out loud.
That's all I own.
Murphy just pulled his pockets and said it.
Not that you're carrying like 700 bazillion things on you.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, and as I said, I'm just sort of talking as Joe to the party. I don't really want to trade him any weapons for this.
You're a barbarian, just stab him.
You're not
You could
there.
just free everyone in there by just killing him.
I mean, he said he was asking the party as Joe.
Yeah, it's up to Lucanus and what Lucanus would do.
Cedric would not advise that, but Peter is.
Well, we got a pretty dire warning about fighting this particular dude, so
Yeah.
yeah. So
You can just come back later.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I want to think about a price. So he turns to Warden and he's like, "How about 10?"
For 10, I think I could let the last go for a few hours, yeah. As long as you personally promise to have it back.
Oh yeah, we'll have her
Safe
back.
and sound.
So he shakes his hand and he's like, "I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow."
Alright.
So Lucanus exits the establishment and goes down the side street where the people are presumably waiting, the rest of the party.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this brothel is very much like up against the dock, so it doesn't take long for you to get back to the dock. Where I don't know if the party followed you or not, but you're back on the dock regardless.
Yeah, am I with the party?
Did you guys follow him?
Yeah, I guess so.
I did not. I stayed where I was.
Yeah,
You
Artemis is just sort of hanging back and
You stayed standing out by potions and notions, or like what do you mean by where you stay, like where you were?
Oh yeah, hanging like out of sight of the brothel, but in the
sure.
general neighborhood.
But like on the docks, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, well, Lucanus sort of goes back to the team. Private party with our girl is going to cost 10 gold. I got 7.
I dislike the idea of giving that wastrel that much money.
But it will get your girl out, Cedric.
I understand that, and I'm okay with that, but I don't like the idea that this is going to encourage this kind of behavior in the future.
So we moved from worrying about one girl to the entire establishment.
Best just to get up and go home.
I'm sorry, I have certain morals that I cannot ignore. Are you all okay with encouraging this sort of behavior in this
I
town?
mean, how are you gonna get her out? You just gonna like walk in, kick open the door, pick her up, and just dump her in the ocean?
I mean,
Yes, that's what he was gonna do.
I mean, theoretically, Lucanus could do that. He could just like be with her, then there, and then like feed her the weed, and then I don't know, kick the door open and run out real quick.
is there a way we could get her out with subterfuge? Is the brothel above the sea? Could we go underneath it?
First, you were worried about everyone in the brothel. Now you want to throw her from the second-story window?
Can Lucanus make a knowledge check about how rogues work?
About how what work?
Rogues.
Rogues. So that is not a word that like you guys have sort of been joking, like, oh, Lucanus, you're a barbarian or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the classes, like that's not a thing, right? Like think about Aragorn. Aragorn is like that character is what you would call a ranger, but he wouldn't call himself. I mean, he's a ranger in like capital R, as in
Yeah,
like that.
like he did call himself
But
that.
but like he wouldn't
Technically,
like he's a capital R ranger, like that's his job, but like he is technically has levels in like the ranger class, but like people wouldn't call him that if he didn't have the capital R ranger job, right? So like, or I'm trying to think of another good example. Like
I was thinking like Tormund from Game of Thrones.
Sure,
he's a good barbarian, right? Like Tormund.
Sure, but I don't know Game of Thrones that well. Don't at me. But yeah, like that person wouldn't like call themselves a barbarian, or like Gimli wouldn't call himself I have 3 levels in fighter or whatever. Like that's not a thing. So like I understand where you're going. Like you want to know what K can do, but like K is not a rogue. K is just K.
Yeah, well, I'm actually interested in whether or not Lucanus knows that rogues use poison for certain things.
I mean, like, yeah, most you all would be familiar with the idea that like poison is a thing that can be used for stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, poison is a thing in this world, sure.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if he knew that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a common enough idea.
Okay. So Lucanus pipes up, some of the rogues that I've used have poisoned their weapons, yeah, that's something we could try.
And where are you gonna get some poison?
Is this
Do you even know how to use poison? How do you want to kill him, or do you just want him to go to sleep?
Is this something that I should make a knowledge check on?
About like how to use poisons?
The specific nature of the poisons.
That's
and where
not,
to get them.
Well, as far as where to get them, you're new here.
Okay.
But like how to use them, that's not something that you specifically have really done before. This might be like you could make a guess, but it's not something that you would feel especially confident, like knowing for sure, or even how to use a poison on a weapon in such a way that you wouldn't like injure yourself in the process.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lucanus, yeah. So this is something that I haven't done, but we can either go in there and risk getting injured even more, or we can have the entire thing taken care of in 3 shots. Holds up the crossbow.
And when there's like a suspicious dead guy, just like hanging over the counter.
Well, we don't.
Well, I mean, my experiences with humans is they don't seem to care much about suspicious deaths and crime in their towns. Is that the kind of thing that you believe would be investigating?
Insulting my town, or get out if you don't like it that much. Walk your butt onto the boat that you came in on and leave.
So wasn't the whole point of us?
I meant no offense. I'm just stating my observations.
The whole point of us going and shooting all of those people in the water and the fighting an elemental was to avoid direct combat, and yet with the townsfolk, because we thought that they were too well connected, and yet here we are suggesting this plan all the way back around again.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm not particularly happy with.
Well, let's say, okay, that you...
It costs us 10 gold to take her there.
But if Lucanus, if you pay 10 gold, you take her for several hours and she never returns, he's coming for you, right?
Yeah.
Are you okay accepting that burden, Lucanus?
Well,
we should just leave her in there.
Or you could pay just for the day the same thing you paid for last time, or pay for half an hour, turn her into a mer person and carry her out of there, because I don't think they want a mer person in their establishment.
Right? That's logical. You can just be like, she's super sick if they say anything weird.
Or I could just go in there, feed her the weed, and be like, bro, you guys have a mermaid, and that's just kind of not my thing, and, but what if they decide to keep her? That's
why you carry her out, princess style. You use those big boots of yours, you kick open the door, and then you run out and throw into the ocean. What are they going to do, swim after her?
Well, I thought our whole thing here was avoiding combat.
If you run and don't get hit, you'll be avoiding combat. Literally.
Lucanus, the burden of this falls most heavily on you. I'll give you...
It's your fault, Cedric. How dare you place this on other people? How moral.
I extended the offer of request to you all, and you all have chosen to take up a burden alongside me. Together, these trials will strengthen us into a tougher metal.
How about this, Cedric? How much are you comfortable paying this guy to rescue this lady?
I'd be comfortable paying the entire amount, of course.
Then let's get on with it.
Yeah, it should be your money. Lucanus is offering his life, so at least you can offer your money.
Yeah, but you guys also realized that we had a pretty dire warning against fighting this guy head on, and I have 7 HP left.
Well, that's also a thing you wouldn't say.
Oh.
You can say I'm not feeling so hot.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling so hot.
What does it mean?
Wait, didn't I leave you for 3?
Well, what if you take her out for the night on or afternoon on the town, and then we skip out of town on this mission for Casper?
Yeah.
We're not around when he comes looking for her, and if he comes to bother us, we say she ran away.
Yeah, you can take her, and then we can make you look, I don't know, disheveled like you were jumped or something, and go back and tell him, people accosted you to help her get away, and she fled, and you have no idea where she is now. Like,
who's to say we have to go back? Just don't show up.
Yeah, don't go back. So we rescue her, we dump her in the ocean, and then we go find Casper and get the out for a while.
Okay. Sure.
The women on the team are always the most smart.
Cedric opens his purse and hands you 10 gold.
Ooh, Cedric pays for a lady friend.
All right.
Somebody needs to go watch our last nature chat.
Yeah. All right. So Lucanus goes in there and
Back so soon, friend. I thought you said tomorrow.
Nah, I decided to pawn one of my weapons.
Well, it seems you got more than enough to, yeah. Well.
Yeah, he points at the weapons. I've had a pretty good day.
Not the only weapon he's packing.
Well, in that case, he sort of yells down the hall, Karissa! And you hear a door open and she comes down the hall and, all right, my friend, you've got her for 3 hours as you requested.
He just sort of like gestures towards the giant bruise covering his body from, the water elemental. He's like, I need some sexual healing, and he just shuttles her out the door.
God, why?
So yeah, Wurgent puts his hand on Carissa's shoulder and sort of, does the shaker a little bit thing and just make sure you take care of my girl. I'll see you in a little while.
Of course. I'm really good at taking care of people.
So she just, kind of shoulders hunched, like head down, follows you out. I'm assuming you're leaving.
Yep. I'm leaving, and then we meet up on the
We
docks.
can't handle any more of that friendly chit chat on the sidelines.
Yeah. No, and then we meet up on the docks with, the sort of like E-Pro hero music playing in the background, and we do that hero walk down the...
Sure, yeah. And when she follows you behind the group, and she's not really looking where she's going until you stop, and then she stops, and she sort of looks up and sees Cedric, and goes, oh, hi.
Hi, young miss. We're here to rescue you.
He's your friend.
Yes, he is.
Oh.
This is my good friend Lucanus.
He sort of looks around at all of you and is like, oh, hello.
These worthy adventurers have risked life and limb obtaining the Gilldeweed for you, and at great personal risk. But bear that no thought. They have done it simply for the reward of knowing that you will be safe and free.
Oh, you all are so wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who has the Gilldeweed for her? I don't remember.
Green. Who has the green Gilldeweed?
Actually, I think that's yeah. So, Karissa, do you need green or purple Gilldeweed? We got both.
I don't really know. It's whatever.
Elsa said the green one, or were you not listening?
Oh, you spoke
She
to
said the
Elsa.
purple was something she didn't have a name for.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot.
Yes, whatever Elsa told you, I guess.
So,
We hand it over.
Are you guys just doing this in the middle of the docks? There are like a lot of people around.
oh, we should probably
Yeah,
move
yeah.
then.
We're like behind a building.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so like
Where all good weed deals go down.
okay, so to
Selling
give
her edibles.
so just to give you more of an idea. So again, I said the bay is where the docks are is kind of like U-shaped but on its side. So like the market district is at the base of the U, so you guys are kind of in the middle of like the southern side right now. So there are so like to the west there's a bit more dock and then the ocean, and then sort of behind you or like to the south and the east there is more of like the slums and a warehousing district. And then there's the city walls in between the warehousing and stuff and the ocean.
Okay, so are we in a safe place to do this?
I mean, like I said, you're standing on the docks. So.
Okay, do you know a safe place where we can do this?
I'm not super familiar with this crazy back alley town.
Perhaps a spot close to the water, but out of the way. Perhaps a boat launch or something.
I never come down here, to be honest.
Is there any land under the docks? Like we could go under?
I mean, there's maybe you haven't been down there, so I guess you'd have to investigate.
Yeah.
Would Kay know that?
Yeah, you've been around. Maybe in places where you shouldn't be. Yeah, there's like a little bit of sandy soil under there. Not a whole lot, but there is a little bit of sandy soil under the docks. This is a bay that the ships can come into right up against the pier and the city, though. So like it's a pretty steep drop off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's some sand underneath there, but getting there would cost you your life. So.
Should we leave the town? Head back to the beach?
We could go back to where we found the Gilldeweed.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Seems like she'd be from there. So
Okay.
Yeah, except I mean, there might be some things there that she might not want to see.
Oh, they've floated away by now.
The other tide is definitely taking them out. And if not, she knows what her freedom cost, so here we are.
Yeah.
We say as if she's not standing right there.
Yeah.
She's just sort of like looking around at all of you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Like,
It's not important.
okay, whatever you say.
So let's go to the beach.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I thought we were already heading there.
To the beach!
Walking to the beach. Okay, so you guys go back out of New Sechester to the east, and you walk back to the beach. Are you going all the way back to where you found the Gilldeweed, or are you stopping like prior to that seagrass bed?
It seems like that place might not necessarily be the safest, so let's just stop a little bit before.
Anywhere outside. Yeah, anywhere on the beach outside the walls.
Okay. So you make, I'm assuming, like a sort of a distance away from the city where like nobody's going to see you really. You're just walking on the beach. You find a place where there's sand and water is beach.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, hand over the stuff then.
All right. So she sort of like it's who's got it.
Will you be recognized?
Huh?
Like your family will accept you, right? Like, do you have money and stuff?
I mean,
Do you need money?
I'm hoping that this plant will do what it needs to do, and it seems like if I'm able to take the correct form, then I'm hoping that they'll accept me. But I am very grateful to all of you for helping me. This was so wonderful. And she pulls off of her wrist, you can see this simply made but very beautiful red coral bracelet, and holds it out to you.
Nah, you should keep that. It's yours.
No, please, I insist.
We're not actually going to take this, right? Like, right, team, right?
It's the only thing she has. Let her. You should definitely keep it.
Yeah.
I feel like you should hold on to that while you make this journey.
I have no use for it.
All right. Thank you. Okay, not getting that gold. Okay. Ever turned down treasure?
Yeah, you're the worst.
Like, did you?
Why would we take something from her when she has nothing? In life?
Nothing. Yeah.
The person with the yellow exclamation point above their head tries to give you. Yeah, cool.
You guys are like super avarice-y and take everything and murder people the whole time, and then you get to the end of the class, she's like, here's this special reward, and you're like, nah, we're good.
We'll take treasure from monsters, we'll not take treasure from friends. Got it.
Yes. Basically. She has nothing.
I mean, Sammy's not going to take it, I just figured you guys would.
I'm not gonna take it. Just Kate, a straight kid. She knows how much that shit's worth to the person who has it.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, are we going to give her the gunk or not?
Yes.
The Gilldeweed?
Whoever has it has given it to her now.
Yeah. All right.
I forgot I had it.
Whoever has it is giving it to her.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay,
all right.
this is really important. This is my one aside for the day.
Okay.
I worked really hard on
Oh.
It's
Aw.
a mermaid.
this. I gave her a doobie.
Oh, okay. So she puts the bracelet back on her wrist and she takes the Gilldeweed clump from you. She goes, well, I guess here it goes. And she starts to eat it, and it's kind of a big clump of stuff, right? And it's squiggly, and she eats all of it, and she swallows, and she sort of stands there for a moment, and then yeah, it's kind of like I don't want to say like in Beauty and the Beast when the light comes out of him is like super dramatic, but you know, there's sort of like shimmering around her, and
Aww.
you see that like the dress actually sort of like fades and becomes part of this like scaly iridescent green body and ends in this giant fish tail. Well, giant, like, you know, it's still proportional to the rest of her, but this fish tail, and she's there sort of like in the shallow water, and she looks back up at all of you and just, you know, tears in her eyes, big smile on her face, and oh, it worked. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this. And she's gonna
get to where you're going safe, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Stay safe. Be free.
And
Take care.
She makes her way through the shallows out into the deeper water, and she's far from the shallow now. That's it. I'm done. And yeah, so
Can we do the like fists in the air and she jumps over us like really?
all right, yeah. So she swims off into the water until you can't see her anymore, and ta-da!
Ta-da! Ta-da!
Now I feel like we're all like, are you happy now, Cedric?
I feel like we're all pleased with that outcome. Am I right?
Yeah, except we're now probably going to get murdered in the next 2 hours, so maybe we should leave.
Let's maybe rest and then get up before sunrise and head out.
He's expecting her back in like 2 hours. So I think
Yeah,
we
so maybe
gotta
we
get out
could-
now and get outside of town.
And sleep in a tent. Sounds comfortable and romantic.
Time to camp.
Well, hold on. I want to pawn these weapons first.
Do that on the way.
They're,
Alright, well, we can leave you in town to die, and the rest of us... Actually, actually, he didn't see the rest of us. The rest of us can do whatever we want. It's just you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should hide in the bushes and we'll pawn the weapons.
Is there an armory on the way out?
In the market district, I'd assume.
I mean, we're out of town now, so there's no on the way out. We have to go back into town to do anything.
Correct.
And Kay would know where to sell, like in like an armory or like a goods store.
Indeed, I would.
Yeah, she knows that there's like an armorer and weaponsmiths and blacksmiths and whatever in the market district. Sure.
Yeah.
And also, Fletcher, you had paid for a month of rooms at the Marked Bird up front, so I don't know if you left things there. Remember, you also, Artemis had asked Casper for an advance on your exploring salary, and he said he would see what he could do and perhaps come back to find you all at the tavern.
So we've got unfinished business in town.
And we have like 2 hours to do it all in.
All right. So you guys want to split up and then meet back at the Marked Bird?
Sure.
I'm fine with it. I'm not in trouble with anybody.
Yeah.
Excellent idea.
I prefer to sleep in my hotel room.
Well, you might be using a tent for a while. Kay, do you want to show me where the armory is?
I could tell you where the armory is.
Okay, sure.
I'm bad at directions. I have a map. Give me a shitty minute.
I have a map.
I have a map. Okay. Hold on. I have to find. I know so many people. Hold on. So there's plate and chain, right? That's that's armor and some weaponry you can sell stuff at. Where else? That's. Hold on. Let me go to my book. Why? I was not expecting the book to be handy at this exact moment. Where is it? General store. There's totally an armory. Where the hell did I write this?
There is, you're right. Plate and chain is an armory, and then there are two blacksmiths.
Yeah. Okay, we have Nossel and Themidia and the Flask brand, which are blacksmiths.
Mm-hmm.
Which are the closest to get to?
Maps. Why are you so hard? Plate and chain. 41. What is 41? I'm assuming 41 should be in the market district, but now.
Should be.
But I see 42 and 40 and 39.
Well, yeah. They're in the order I made them, not in the order I placed them. Sorry. Are you all going wherever this is to pawn weapons, or is Lucanus solo?
No.
Taylor's gonna go home.
No, I think Lucanus is gonna go solo and then meet everybody back at the Marked Bird.
Okay. 41 is the light blue up in the left-hand corner of the market.
Oh, I see it.
Next to 37.
All right, so pretty close to us, actually. Well, it was pretty close to us by the docks, but now it's not very close to us on the outside of town. So 41 is the plate and chain, and 37 right next to it is one of the blacksmiths, and then number 30, which is the orange kind of behind the park. 30 is the other blacksmith. Oh, that's what the big green thing is. It's a park.
It's a park. It's like a park. It's like the market square, right? So that's like a lot of like the farm wagons and stuff are in there. So park is just like open space.
All right, so you're gonna go to the docks, and then like there's kind of that big market square area. Did you walk through there at any point? Do you remember?
He talked to people in the market square.
Okay, perfect. I mean, Kay wouldn't know that, but
yeah.
So to the left of the market square, there's an armory and a weapon shop or a blacksmith. And then on the other one was 37, you said?
So 37 and 41 are that's the armorer and the blacksmith.
And then 30 is the other one.
And 30 is the other blacksmith.
And then right at the end of that square, there's another blacksmith, so you can take your pick. But They're pretty obvious.
Those are ones you know, right?
Right.
Yeah, so you know that the blacksmith and the armorer that are right there next to one another, those are owned and operated by dwarves, and it's a sibling business, quite literally. Yep. And you know that 30 is a blacksmith run by a halfling.
Okay. I relay this information. I don't know, do you trust the dwarves or do you trust the halfling? I'd go with the dwarves, personally.
I'm going with the dwarves.
Yeah.
Cedric, you want to come?
An excellent idea.
All right, excellent. Well, you guys shouldn't get lost. Oh, wait, doesn't Cedric have a map?
I do have a map.
That's why I asked.
That's the question.
Why don't you give that to me, and I'll mark it on your map where you need to go.
Okay. I show you my map.
Do you have a pen with that map?
I do, actually.
Excellent. I mark the bearing things on your map.
Yes, I have a pen. Excellent. Lucanus, shall we go?
Yes, sir. Let's go. So,
Okay.
head up to the plate and chain.
All right, so you're heading to the plate and chain. I am looking for people right now. Here we go. Sorry, just looking for stuff. Okay. Yep. Okay. So you're going to the plate and chain. So you head there, following Kay's instructions. How about, and it's between the two of you. So I'll let whichever one of you would prefer to make a survival check to try to find your way there.
I marked them on the map.
Well, I mean, his map is not very good.
Oh.
The map will lower the DC a little.
I got a 17.
A 17? Okay, yeah, so you're able to follow Kay's instructions. And yeah, you wandered around the marketplace quite a bit when you first got here. So you're able to find your way back to this sort of a blacksmith and then a very similarly shaped and adorned armorer shop right there on the corner of the market district. And the doors are open because it's hot inside because, you know, smithy and stuff.
Lucanus steps inside. Hey there, guys. Are you guys accepting weapons for trade?
So inside you see there's a male human sort of working on buffing some armor on one end of the counter, and then there's a female dwarf standing sort of more like at the counter, like she's waiting for people. And she says, yes, how can I help you? And you see she's unusually small for a dwarf, so you assume she must be standing on something because she's got, you know, a very small head and small shoulders. And she's got very delicate fingers for a dwarf. Normally you're familiar, you know, seeing Cedric or some other dwarves that you've seen in your travels. They're a little stockier normally, but she's very petite. And she's got very quick green eyes that are sort of, you know, you feel like they're probably sort of giving you the once-over as you walk in. And she's got brown hair sort of up in two twists, one on either side of her head, not over her ears, Princess Leia, but like, you know, fun buns up on the top of her head. And they're each covered in like a gold netting with tiny gold beads all over it. Yes, how can I help you?
Lucanus puts one of the crossbows and one of the long spears up on the table. How much for each of these?
She takes a look at them and she picks up the crossbow and is like, it's wet. It's made out of wood, right? Like, so she's like, it's wet. Why is it wet?
I pulled it from someone in the water. It's a very long story. He shows the bruise. I fought a water elemental today. It's been kind of rough, so...
What now?
Water elemental, apparently.
To be clear, though, the water elemental did not have the crossbow. That was on this kind of fish creature.
She sort of puts her elbows up on the counter and like comes and like she's standing on the counter now, and like you imagine she must have been on a box, and she's standing on the counter looking so that she can see you, Cedric, a little better now, and is like, "You did what?"
Well met, Ford sister. We triumphed over great evil today, and as a result, we have these weapons that we cannot use.
We're never letting them together to go anywhere ever again.
Okay. So she... Wow. Okay.
Certainly, these weapons are not of dwarven make, but perhaps they might be of use to some, somewhat of less discerning tastes in weaponry.
Boy, you can say that again.
Honestly, I'd just like to trade these in for a battle axe or two.
Okay, so you got a crossbow and a long spear, and she's like sort of like hefting the spear and like looking at it to make sure it's straight and that kind of thing, testing the point, like looking at the mechanism on the crossbow, and she's like,
testing the waters.
I mean, it smells like seaweed. I'll give you 27 gold for the lot.
For the crossbow and the long spear?
Mm-hmm.
27 gold? Sure. Yeah.
Do I think that's a good price?
Cedric, what do you think?
Oh no, what do you think is a good price? You can make an appraise check for me.
Ooh, nope, that's 6.
I mean, she seems like a nice lady.
Yeah.
Although, make a knowledge religion check for me.
Ooh.
Can I do that too? I actually have some skills in that.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
A 19.
I probably don't even need it then. I'll do it anyways.
I mean, it depends on whether or not he tells you anything.
Yeah, I have 1 in knowledge religion, so I got a 17.
You got a 17. So you're
plus 1. So
okay.
18.
Yeah. So your knowledge of religions is like specific religions is maybe a little hazy because you haven't experienced a lot on the other continents, or like spend a whole lot of time with a lot of people of other races, but you do notice that there might be some subtle stylistic differences, I guess you could say, between this young dwarven woman and Cedric, beyond the blood-stained shirt that he's wearing. Cedric, you definitely pick up on this. She's wearing adornments in her hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Good to know.
Alrighty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But she seems nice enough. But she's wearing adornments in her hair.
So
yeah.
Lucanus puts 1 crossbow and 1 long spear on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, so I need a one-handed weapon for close range. I need a close range weapon. What do you got?
Well, what sort of close-range, one-handed weapon you looking for? We've got clubs, we've got maces, we got morning stars, we got short spears, we got some battle axes, long swords, rapiers, scimitars, you name it, we got it.
Battle axe?
Battle axe. Battle axe, yep. Mm-hmm. Is that, you're proficient with martial weapons, right?
Yeah, should be.
Yep, mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, we got battle axes.
How much damage does that do? Like if I were to...
I mean, it
depends on how hard you swing.
Yeah, right.
Or if you miss.
Well, in terms of damage, it would do about the same amount of damage as these 2 weapons you're selling me.
So that's, what, 1d6?
1d8.
1d8.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the 27 gold and I'll buy a battle axe from you.
All right, that'll be 10 gold, so if I just knock that off of the price I'm giving you for these 2, I'll give you 17 gold for the 2 weapons.
All right. So.
Cha-ching.
Yeah. So. I hand over the crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Then hand over the long spear. Receive 1 battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
And how much for some crossbow bolts?
Crossbow bolts. Hey, Saul! And
What?
you see she's yelling to the human man down the way. He kind of perks his head up and she says, "Bring out a bundle of crossbow bolts, will you?" And he goes off into another part of the shop. And so crossbow bolts will cost you 1 gold for 10.
All right. Could I get 20 of them?
Sure. Sure. And Saul will make it 2 bundles. And he's rummaging, and you hear stuff shifting. All right. Anything else I can help you with?
No. That's all I need.
How about you? Can I help you with anything?
No, I don't think I'll. No, I'm just fine, thank you.
All right.
He says in his blood-soaked shirt.
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Well, it's nice to meet you, gentlemen. I hope you enjoy your weapons. I guess. Have a good afternoon.
Yep.
Thank you.
Cedric notices hair adornments, decides he immediately doesn't like her.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
Yep, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Apparently not all dogs are the same.
Mm-mm.
I guess you could. I guess you could say as a dwarf he had a short temper around her.
Whoa. Oh boy. Womp womp. All right. Are you guys done with your shopping?
I am done with my shopping.
What were the rest of you doing while these guys were doing that thing?
I just went home and checked in.
Okay, you went home. Nobody's there right now because it's the middle of the day.
No, they figured.
It's like mid-afternoon, so yeah.
I went to the Twitter bar.
You went to the Marked Bird. Fletcher, what are you doing?
I'm in my room in the Marked Bird studying the sample of the purple weed that we kept, trying to just take sketches and notes and try to see what I can determine about it. That's all.
Okay.
If no one was home, I went to go look for Ozzy if he's around.
Okay. We'll get to that in a moment.
All right.
So Artemis, you said you're in the Marked Bird?
Yep.
So what are you doing?
I am hanging out in the table portion.
Okay, like in the bar.
Yeah, waiting for Casper if he's not there at the moment.
Sure. So Leon sees you walk in. Well, actually, I guess, he sees you and Fletcher walk in, and Fletcher kind of beelines it to his room to do his research, but you're hanging out, and so Leon goes back behind the counter, and he comes back out to the front with this, oh my goodness, where is it? So he comes back out with a little cloth bag and sets it on the table in front of you and says, Casper stopped by earlier, and this was for you and your friends and for Kay as an advance because you were going to go adventuring, I guess. So here's your advance from Casper.
Oh, thank you. I wait till I guess he's going to probably head back to his area. I wait till he heads back, and I open the bag and count it.
Okay, there is 25 gold in the bag.
Okay. I slip 2 of those out of the bag and put them in my pocket.
Okay. Make a perception check, since you said you were waiting for Casper and just kind of hanging out in the bar looking around.
It is not my day for rolling. I don't know what the deal is.
You should just get real dice.
No. Well, I have them. They're all over. Yeah, no.
What did you get?
I got a 7. +0.
0. I mean, it's still kind of like mid-afternoonish, so there's not a ton of people in here yet. But you do notice that there's a human man, probably like mid-50s, silvery blonde hair, cut short against his head, and he's sitting at the bar, sort of lamenting something to Leon, and that is where we will pick up next time, because it's been about 3 hours of runtime now. So Lucanus and Cedric were making their way back to the marketplace. Fletcher is in his room in the Marked Bird. Artemis is overhearing a conversation in the Marked Bird, and Kay is out in the streets of New Sechester. We will pick up there 2 weeks from now, so July 20th. And if you have...
I'll be back up on my birthday.
Oh, hey!
Happy birthday to Nancy.
Happy birthday to Nancy. And as a special present to the cast and to all of you viewers, whoever you might be, we will have a special guest next time. So on July 20th, you definitely want to come check out the stream, because we're going to have our first special guest scientist player in the mix as well. So thanks everybody for playing and for watching. If you're watching now or not live, that's good too. Don't forget you can ask us questions in the comments section on the YouTube video, which will be archived on our channel, or you can tweet us at CheckNature or tweet any of us individuals. All of our social handles are down in the reference section below the video. Anybody have any final thoughts, things they'd like to plug?
I check out Ask an Entomologist on Twitter, the blog, Gmail. We're still trying to get caught up, but we're starting to produce new content, so that's good.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, in that case, thanks again for all of your patience with our technical issues, and thanks for watching. Again, we'll see you back here on July 20th. Until then.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.